to kickstart this session after a delightful lunch. The vibe is set and everybody seems pumped up.
બિલકુલ બટ ઓનેસ્ટલી મને ખબર નથી પડી રહી કે એનર્જી નેશનલ કોન્ફરન્સની છે કે પછી હમણાં જે જબરદસ્ત લંચ મળ્યું એની છે. Whatever the reason is, it is clear that we are fueled up for a fantastic session. So ladies and gentlemen, I am Nisak Shah.
And I am Khushbu Periwal, MOC of the current session.
AI Revolution Reshaping the CA Profession. हम एक ऐसे एरा में मूव कर रहे हैं जहां मैन्युअल एंट्री पुरानी बात हो गई है और AI को पायलट हमारा नया बेस्ट फ्रेंड बन चुका है.
Now I know what some of you are thinking. Will AI replace me? Relax. जब तक clients last minute data भेजेंगे तब तक हम chartered accountants safe हैं.
एग्जैक्टली वो कहते हैं ना कि अल्गोरिदम्स ने किए हिसाब हजार, डेटा ने खोले तरक्की के द्वार, पर जो पूछो क्यों और क्या होना चाहिए वो सवाल अभी भी है सीए का अधिकार, वो सवाल अभी भी है सीए का अधिकार.
Rightly said, because AI is not a substitute, it's a helping hand. So to guide us through this maze of technology, AI, and evolving role of professionals, we are privileged to have with us esteemed session expert whose insights have inspired countless professionals.
So now I would request CA Bishan Shah sir, Secretary of WIRC of ICI, along with Mr. Adresh Andani, Joint Secretary of Vikasa Ahmedabad, to escort our session expert, Mr. Bhavin Goklani sir. I would also request our paper presenters of the current session, Mr. Bharat Surya, Ms. Vidhi Talati, and Mr. Ayush Atlakar to join the dais.
Please
Everyone,
put your hands together. So you know what? Visionaries don't just adapt to change, they define it. Leaders don't merely predict the future, but they help create it. Mr. Bhavin Goklani, sir, is one of them. He is an accomplished artificial intelligence consultant, a distinguished faculty for IACI Level 1 and 2 at ICAI, a data analyst, Microsoft certified Excel expert and trainer, and a tax advisor.
In a world where many people are still asking, will AI replace professionals? Mr. Bhavin Goklani sir is showing us a much better question. How can professionals use AI to become even better?
Through his training sessions, workshops, and guidance, he has empowered thousands of students and professionals to embrace innovations. Whether it's Excel, data analytics, automation, or artificial intelligence, he has a unique ability to make complex concepts simple, practical, and engaging.
Now, I would request CA Bishan sir to felicitate Mr. Bhavin Goklani sir.
Please put your hands together for Bhavin Goklani sir. लंच करने के बाद तालियों की आवाज कम क्यों हो गई है? प्लीज पुट योर हैंड्स टुगेदर फॉर भाविन गोकलानी सर.
Our paper presenter for the session, Mr. Bharat Surya, please join the dais.
Now, I would request Mr. Bhavin Goklani sir to kindly felicitate our paper presenters of the current session. Our first paper presenter is Mr. Bharat Surya.
Give a huge round of applause, guys.
Yeah, I'm supposed to.
Please put a huge round of applause.
एनर्जी रखो गाइस, लंच के बाद तो एनर्जी ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए.
Our second paper presenter, Ms. Vidhi Talati.
Give a huge round of applause for her.
Our third paper presenter, Mr. Ayush Adlakha.
Give a huge round of applause for him. Now, I would like to request Mr. Bhavin Goklani sir to address the students. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our AI expert.
So good afternoon, all of you. So I'm super glad to be here at the prestigious venue of Club 07 in the National Conference of CA students. I am pleased to be here to talk on artificial intelligence. I think this is one of the moments for all the chartered accountant students to celebrate as a youth festival. But nowadays we can say this kind of festival has become a combination of learning, sharing the knowledge, and enjoying the moment that we are going to cherish forever. I am extremely thankful to ICAI Ahmedabad for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you in this giant conference. When we talk about artificial intelligence, it's always my first love. I am super glad that my wife is not listening to me here. But friends, when I am talking with you, as a young person, I would always ask you people to spare more and more time on learning new things, because we can see the change that are happening across the globe since last 3.5 years after introduction of artificial intelligence. The term has been changed from GST to GPT. We are moving towards ledgers to LLMs. We are traveling from accounting to automation. And all the auditing is going to be robust and based on robotic process automation in upcoming 5 years. Then in this case, I always believe कि आप अपने आप को कितना वक्त दे रहे हैं नई चीजें सीखने के लिए। ये जो क्रांति आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की आई है, उसमें आप अपने आप को कहां पे देखते हैं, उससे ज्यादा मैटर ये करता है कि आप कितना वक्त दे रहे हैं आपके लर्निंग प्रोसेस को। हम हमेशा कहते हैं कि जब कोई नया क्रांति आता है तो पूरे समाज को, पूरी दुनिया को बदल के रख देता है, लेकिन जब ये पूरी दुनिया बदलने वाली है तो उस दुनिया के साथ आप कितना बदल रहे हो वो काफी मायने रखता है। काफी अक्सर बार मुझे स्टूडेंट्स प्रोफेशनल पूछते हैं व्हेन आई ट्रैवल अक्रॉस द ग्लोब टू टीच आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, एंड बिशन सर इज अ विटनेस ऑफ दैट। सर के साथ मैं सीखा हूं, सर के पास मैं सीखा हूं, हम बैठ के अक्सर सीखते रहते हैं एआई। इवन इफ सर इज अ मैन ऑफ जीएसटी बट ही इज डूइंग वेरी गुड इन जीपीटी ऑल्सो। सो आई वुड से कि जब आप दुनिया को बदलते देख रहे हो तो आप कितना बदल रहे हो वो मायने रखता है, क्योंकि इस दुनिया में दो तरीके के लोग हैं, एक जो दुनिया देखना चाहते हैं और एक जो दुनिया दिखाना चाहते हैं। आप कौन है वो काफी मायने उस बात से रखता है कि अपने आप को आप कितना वक्त दे रहे हो नया कुछ सीखने में। क्योंकि हमारे एआई कमेटी के चेयरमैन नंदा सर हमेशा बोलते हैं एक शायराना अंदाज में कि सोचने से कहां मिलते हैं तमन्नाओं के शहर, सोचने से कहां मिलते हैं तमन्नाओं के शहर, चलने की जिद भी जरूरी है मंजिल पाने के लिए। तो आप क्या कर रहे हो मित्रों, आज वो चीज मैटर करता है। मैं काफी कम वक्त के लिए आपके पास आया हूं, लेकिन कम वक्त में मैं आपको कुछ ऐसी चीज बताना चाहता हूं कि जो मैं पिछले 10 साल में सीखा हूं और 1 साल में उसको ऑडिट किया है बाय रोमिंग अराउंड द कंट्री। आई ऑलवेज से आप आप नहीं हो. You are not you. You are average of 4 people around you. आपके आसपास कौन है? आपके आसपास रहने वाले लोग कैसी बातें करते हैं? क्या वो एआई की बातें करते हैं या फिर वो जंतर मंतर की बातें करते हैं? बहुत ही मैटर करता है इस विषय में. तो अपने आप अच्छे लोग रखें. दुनिया में जो कुछ अचीव करना चाहते हो उसके लिए डेली छोटा छोटा प्रोग्राम बनाएं. इफ यू आस्क मी कि व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, तो मेरे जीवन के 10 साल का एक दिन ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं कुछ नया नहीं सीखा हूं. एवरी डे. मेरी शादी के दिन भी मैंने इंडेक्स मैच का फॉर्मूला सीखा था एक्सेल में. सो आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू हैव योर प्लान. क्या नया सीख रहे हो? डेली वाउच करो, अपने दोस्तों को बताओ. हर दिन 10-15 मिनट कुछ नया सीखो. वक्त दो अपने लर्निंग को. दोस्तों, एक ही लाइन बोल के बात फिनिश करूंगा. ये दुनिया कभी किसी को कुछ देती नहीं है. ये दुनिया कभी किसी को कुछ देती नहीं है, लौटाती है जो आपने दिया है. तो देते रहे और पाते रहे. थैंक यू सो मच अहमदाबाद. थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir, for your informative and most future-ready session. We are grateful for your time and efforts. Now, I would request
CA Bishan Shah, sir, Secretary of WIRC of ICAI, to address the students.
please put your hands together for
sir.
him.
Thank you very much. And yes, you need to clap because your adrenal gland will be activated with the clapping. So let's cheer for all of us because in this session, this is the first session where we as students are going to present, and that is for AI. इतने सारे लोगों ने बता दिया कि ICAI में भी AI है. AI is coming. અને આજનો દિવસ જેઠ સુદ છઠ વિક્રમ સંવત 2083 मातृभूमिનું સન્માન मातृ संस्था द्वारा मातृभाषाના હેતુથી जो जिस लैंग्वेज में समझता है उसको उसी लैंग्वेज में बताना चाहिए. तो પાછળ જે લોકો ઊભા છે ને, પાછળ જે બી બધા ઊભા છે, કાઇન્ડલી પ્લીઝ સિટ ડાઉન, સેટલ. આઈ રિક્વેસ્ટ એવરીવન ટુ સેટલ ડાઉન પ્લીઝ. અને જ્યારે ગુજરાતીમાં વાત કરીએ અને ગુજરાતમાં હોઈએ, અમદાવાદમાં હોઈએ, એટલે ગુજરાતી બધાને તરત ખબર પડી જાય ભાવિનભાઈ. અને જુઓ તમે એનો ઇમ્પેક્ટ બી જુઓ લેંગ્વેજનો. એટલે સેમ વિલ હેપન વિથ ધ AI language. And please give big round of applause to chairman of Ahmedabad branch who has taken great pain in organizing this, none other than CA Rinkesh Shah. This is what we are team. Together everyone achieves more. And since we are learning AI, we are in the AI, it is very much important to keep one thing in your mind, that AI is not going to take your job away. But if you are updated, it will skill up you at the next level. As Bhavin sir said that you need to understand new things, you need to know new things. Not only restrict yourself to ChatGPT, try to invest your time in Claude. Then if you are able to have excellence in Claude, then try to go for Anatane, Zapier, Make.com, and so many things, friends. But you need to just start imagine. Imagine कीजिए ये चीज़ मैं कर रहा हूँ, क्या ये AI से हो सकती है? And if you have that courage, that conviction, world is yours. My best wishes to all of you, and please give big round of applause to our presenter as well. Thank you very much, friend. Jai Hind, Jai ICAI.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing the students. Now, as the torchbearers of innovation, our paper presenters today are here with a sankalp to challenge the ordinary and present the extraordinary. Let's carry that same spirit into this technical session.
Now, I would request our first paper presenter, Mr. Bharat Surya, to present his paper on the topic Securing Trust, Cyber Security and Data Protection in the Professional Practice. Please put your hands together for Bharat Surya.
Just check once, check once.
Hello? Hello?
Wait. Bharat.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bharat Surya. Pursuing my articleship at Kiran K and Associates in Bangalore, I propose a new line of service in our field. It is where our practice as an auditor meets the single fastest growing risk in the country, that is cyber risk. I call it Cyber Insurance Gap Audit for chartered accountants trained in information systems audit. So where we assess the cybersecurity controls of an entity based on the insurer's policy requirements. India is currently under attack. I'll explain that with 4 numbers. The amount of cyber fraud an average Indian organization faces on a day-to-day basis is 60 crores, as per the Ministry of Home Affairs. And the number of incidents that are handled by Computer Emergency Response Team, that is CERT-In, is 29.44 lakh incidents across several domains, which include government agencies, individuals, organizations, business entities, and hospitals. Now, an average Indian organization faces over 2,000 plus cyber attacks in a week itself. India is currently 11th most targeted country when in a global scale. And if an attack succeeds, 22 crores is the amount an average Indian organization ends up paying when there's a breach happening. Let me explain that with an example. Imagine a hospital. Imagine a hospital which digitally owns your patient bill records, diagnostic data, billing reports, patient bills. Now imagine all that in a locker, for which the hospital does not have a lock to it yet. And a hacker comes, he locks it up, and then demands 4 crores for the keys. This, my friends, is a ransomware attack, where a hacker comes, he encrypts the data, and then without manipulating or destroying the data, he demands a ransom for it. This is not a fictional example. AIIMS Delhi and 2 other hospitals have been recent victims to this. 14.24% of all cyber attacks are targeted on hospitality sector. Now, for a ransomware attack in a sensitive industry like hospitals, data is not at stake at this point. Lives are at stake. A ransomware attack on an industry like hospital doesn't just shut down systems. It shuts down the entire healthcare itself. Talking about the costs that an organization incurs if there is a cyber breach. One is the direct impact. That is the ransomware payment that our hospital in our case and the businesses that end up paying, which is 4 crores. And the forensic investigation and detection cost that an organization ends up paying, ensuring that such type of attacks and breaches do not end up happening again. Coming to a little broader perspective, the operational fallouts, which is the idle labor time, the hardware replacement costs, and the client notices that you should be sending to your clients telling about the cyber breaches that have happened at your end. Now, coming to a macro perspective, existential threats. Now, an entire business is built upon trust. If the trust itself is broken, then it leads to loss of clients, devaluation of the brand equity, and also there will be higher future insurance premiums as well. Now, bringing in legal and regulatory perspective into this, with upcoming acts like DPDP, that is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, where the potential penalties if the hospital did not have proper controls at its place might range from 250 crores, it can even scale up to 750 crores as well. Now imagine what would that do to the going concern of an entity. What is cyber insurance? Cyber insurance is specifically designed to cover these kinds of losses. But what most businesses do not realize is that these cyber insurance premiums are not charged like any other regular insurance based on some flat rate. Instead, these cyber insurance premiums are determined based upon the cybersecurity controls held by the entity. Now, if there are several controls, the insurance premium will be high, and the vice versa as well. Now, the sample controls as per the popular Indian insurer proposal forms include multiple factor authentication, tested backups, endpoint protection, incident response plan, patch management, and staff training. So what will we be doing? We will be assessing the cybersecurity controls of the business or entity based upon the cyber insurance policy requirements. So why we? Why we chartered accountants? Before coming to that, I'll tell you who is an information systems auditor. Information systems auditor is a post-qualification role which a chartered accountant can pursue upon clearing his DISA exam, that is Diploma in Information Systems Audit. So a post-qualification chartered accountant, once he clears his DISA exam, then he will be an information systems auditor where he will be assessing the complex information systems based on the controls, evidence, risk, and report them as per the information systems auditing standards. These are governed under DAB, that is the Digital Accounting and Assurance Board of India, which is a wing under ICAI. These are as well covered under ICAI's Code of Ethics that will ensure that there is proper competence, professional competence and due care, and confidentiality is also maintained. While the technological experts build these information systems, we as information systems auditor end up verifying them. Talking about how these cyber insurance premiums are calculated, now let us say a cyber insurance company thinks that offline backups of all controls are to be the most critical ones, so they are given the higher weightage. Now, if a company does not have proper offline backups, then the cyber insurance premium might surge up by 25 to 30% as well. Now, if several controls are lacking, then the insurance premium might surge up by 50% as well. I'll illustrate this with an example. Imagine a company with a 3.5 crores worth of revenue with an average insurance premium of 95,000 for a 2 crore worth of cover. Now, before this cyber insurance gap audit is done, before the controls are fixed, the risk multiplier becomes 1.5x of 95,000. That comes to 1,42,500. Once the fixes are done and the controls are patched, then the risk multiplier becomes 0.7x of 95,000. That comes to 66,500, which is a 53% annual savings, plus the claim denial risk gets almost eliminated as well. This is not just a one-time engagement. It is a working model because on one end, you will be receiving the advisory fee from the client, that is the hospital in our case, for providing the control assessment and then suggesting your advisory based upon the controls and the gaps that are to be fixed and on the business side. This is billable and proven. The emerging one is the verification fee that the cyber insurance company ends up paying us for performing the control assessment upon the cybersecurity controls of the entity as per the insurer's policy requirements. So there is one engagement with multiple revenue streams. This is the perfect market pivot because for more than a century, we've been assessing the financial risks alone in the form of statutory audit, internal audit, statutory compliances, and due diligence type of services. So we know what financial risk assessment is. With ISA 3.0 credential, we'll understand how information systems audit are to be assessed, thereby understanding what cyber risk is. Because at its core, it is a control verification engagement, thereby making us the perfect people for performing such types of engagement. I have 4 proposals to ICAI. One is to recognize and formally consider CA qualified IS auditors for providing these types of non-attest advisory service. Second is to standardize by developing an ICAI reporting template that will ensure that all these controls are covered based on the popular insurer controls. Third is to integrate and collaborate with ICAI, IRDA, and the DAB community, which is the Digital Accounting Assurance Board of India, and ensure that CA qualified IS auditors get an edge over performing such cyber underwriting assignments. Fourth and the most crucial part is, let us start with the CA firms itself, because we as chartered accountant firms, we have extensive amount of financial data at our end, but we do not have proper safeguards or guardrails around it. With this type of cyber insurance policies, we'll ensure that a large amount of risk gets mitigated, and thereby bringing in huge amount of value for the firms and the society as well. Thereby starting with the profession and then building a framework, and then it will end up scaling nationally. We were measuring financial risk, but with cyber insurance gap audit, we'll be measuring cyber risk now. And as the profession already has trust, standards, ethics, and methodology, the opportunity is here. The information auditor who moves first will lead the market. Thank you.
What a brilliant and balanced paper it was by Mr. Bharat Surya.
Now, I would request Ms. Vidhi Talati to present her paper on the topic AI as a co-pilot, enhancing productivity and decision making.
So before we start with my presentation, let's just refer to our AI generated video first.
आइए दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका इस शानदार क्रिकेट मैच में। यहां गेंदबाज 150 की गति से गेंद डालते हुए और ये स्टैट्यूटरी डेडलाइन बिल्कुल नजदीक आ रही है। हमारे बैट्समैन यानी हमारे ऑडिटर पूरी तरह तैयार हैं, पर यहां मैदान पर हर प्रकार के फील्डर्स तैनात हैं। क्या हमारे बैट्समैन कर पाएंगे इस मुश्किल सफर को तय, या फिर कंप्लायंस के इस चक्रव्यूह में गिर जाएगा उनका विकेट?
क्या लगता है दोस्तों आपको, क्या हमारे ऑडिटर कर पाएंगे इस कंप्लायंस के चक्रव्यूह को पार? In our lives, our offices are like our stadiums, with the statutory deadlines constantly throwing googly balls at us, with all the complexities and the hard work ready on the field at fielders. And we, the chartered accountants, the auditors, the batsmen, are weaponized with just one weapon, our bet, which is traditionally known as our intelligence. But in today's era, we have one co-pilot, that is AI. A very good afternoon, everyone. કેમ છો અમદાવાદ? સંભળાયું નહીં? કેમ છો અમદાવાદ? This is Vidhi Talati, here to present her thoughts on AI as co-pilot, enhancing productivity and decision making. AI, artificial intelligence. All of us have used AI, right? Either to write shairis or to letters for someone, of course, department, or even in our offices. But let me tell you something. Yesterday, while going through my work, I asked ChatGPT that, ChatGPT, I am the statutory auditor of a company, ABC Limited, and I am required to prepare the balance sheet. So tell me, what should be the SOP for the same? And what the AI answered was, being the statutory auditors, you are not required to prepare the balance sheet. With all this hype going on, will AI replace us? My reaction was, अब ये करेगा मुझे replace? अब इस पगले को कौन ही समझाए कि मुन्ना हमारे यहाँ ऐसा ही होता है? So the question here is AI really that incapable for understanding the practicalities of the world? Well, it depends on the users. AI is just like a 1 rupee Melody chocolate. So if you give that Melody chocolate to a child, then he might use it for distributing on his birthday to his school friends. But if the same Melody chocolate is given to a prime minister, then it might be used as a gift for another prime minister to strengthen the relationship. Don't think otherwise, between the countries, of course. So yes, AI is capable of everything. The same AI with which we are casually chatting today can be used to develop highly specialized models, the example being the Claude Mythos model. The model which can hack any website in this world. The model of which every country and every government is afraid of. And we, as the chartered accountants, can use this AI in our lives as well. So tell me, what is the most important thing for our compliance practice? The reconciliations, right? All of us have been using AI for reconciliations in our office, so I'm not going much deep in that. But yes, all of us are constantly bombarded with new amendments every few weeks. And it is quite a headache to remember all those. So what if I tell you that we, being the CAs, being the creature of commerce, with no prior knowledge of how coding works, can develop a Chrome extension that will ping us every single time the new amendment comes up in the government websites. The auditors, they moved from 100% population testing to sampling as per SA 530 because of time constraints. But my dear friend, old is gold. Time moves in a circle. So today, we can go back to that 100% population testing and even in lesser amount of time with more accuracy. Courtesy, artificial intelligence. Even in the highly specialized fields like our litigation, even AI can be used with appropriate prompts and appropriate masking tools for drafting better replies or draft replies. So yes, the work which previously used to eat up about 4 to 5 hours can now be done within matter of minutes with just few clicks with the use of AI. This is how we can use AI for enhancing our productivity. There are many tools available in the market right now, be it Claude or ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity, many more. But how do we use it in practical life for enhancing our decision making? Let's understand it with the help of an example. A client calls up to you that he has received a show cause notice under section 143(3) for the alleged mismatch between the turnover of income tax and GST. Okay, as a traditional CA, what will you do? You will first read the notice, read the sections, and then even consult a friend who is a litigation expert, as claimed by him, of course. And then you will start drafting a mail, an official response mail for the client. Time taken? About 4 to 5 hours. And still, the decision remains subjective. But here, if you use AI as co-pilot in this situation, the AI can analyze whole of your show cause notice within matter of minutes. But yes, be sure to use appropriate masking tools before uploading your notice. No need to serve through hundreds of judgments. The relevant judgments are served right at your plate. The official response mail to your client is ready in matter of seconds. And the time taken? Approximately 14 to 15 minutes. And decision still remains very data-backed and with appropriate reasoning. And make sure even your mails won't have the grammatical or punctuation errors. So yes, this is the power of AI. Even today, we chartered accountants have many new frontiers open for us. And we can use AI to upskill ourselves. For example, do you guys know what is the difference between the AI assistants, also called as LLMs, versus the AI agents? Any idea? Maybe not. So yes, AI assistants, the LLMs, are like first-year junior articles who wait for the prompt to be given to them. They will wait. They will do just that much work what they are being asked to. But our AI agents are like the proactive players, the CAs who are in employment of the firm, who has done their articleship from the same CA firm and who has each and every knowledge about the SOP of the firm. And this is how AI, with the use of AI agents, the CA firms can use and can develop highly specialized automated models for email drafting, for sending reminders to your client, for sending reminders to send the data for compliance every week. This is the power of AI. Even our own ICI, after considering the more importance of AI, has introduced CA-GPTs, the highly specialized models for all your needs. So you see, after seeing all these uses of AI, the first thought that comes to our mind is, eat 5-star, do nothing. And still, I think there is some glitch for the audio. Could you please play the audio? Sorry, audio નથી આમાં આના પછી બી છે. Look, that's okay. આના પછી હજી એક મારો વિડિયો આવશે એમાં બી ઓડિયો જોઈશે. But wait, my dear friends, जैसे बाज की नजर, चीते की चाल और बाजीराव की तलवार पे कभी संदेह नहीं करते, बिल्कुल वैसे ही एआई के जनरेटेड प्रॉम्प्ट्स, गूगल मैप्स के शॉर्टकट्स और प्रिंसिपल का बस 5 मिनट का काम है वाला प्रॉमिस, उसके ऊपर कभी आंख बंद के भरोसा नहीं करते. So what are the guardrails? What are the things that could actually go wrong? So the risk of AI could be highly divided into 3 parts: the hallucination risk, the data confidentiality, and the skill atrophy. AI can give us many hallucinated case laws if we are not diligent enough. Even AI has the ability to read each and every item that we upload to it. So uploading client sensitive data without masking is like making a public announcement of everything. Further, tell me one thing. Can the work of articled assistant be used by principal without review? Of course not, right? So yes, the work by your AI assistant should be subjected to review by the natural intelligence. You cannot fully rely on it. So what happens when our CA batsman uses Copilot? The results are
सीए बैट्समैन मुश्किल में, लेकिन ये क्या, मैदान में एआई को पायलट की एंट्री, डिजिटल ग्रिड पूरे स्टेडियम को स्कैन कर रहा है, लाखों डेटा तुरंत प्रोसेस, एआई ने सारा रिस्क कैलकुलेट कर लिया है और ढूंढ निकाला है बिल्कुल परफेक्ट गैप. खेल फिर से शुरू. हमारे सीए ने बनाया कदम और घुमा दिया बैट, गेंद हवा में और ये शानदार छक्का, मशीन की नजर और सीए का प्रहार.
to get the face of our statutory deadlines, the same face as our renowned bowlers, it is very important that we as CAs know the winning formula. AI Copilot plus CA's judgment equals to success. However, my dear friends, please remember that AI is a great co-pilot for navigating through numerous data. But it is the CA, the auditor himself, who flies the plane, who is the ultimate pilot. Thank you so much.
What a humorous and valuable paper it was. So एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए विधि तलाटी and our favorite Virat Kohli too. Now I would request Mr. Ayush Adlakha to present his paper on the topic AI in practice, leveraging intelligent tools for chartered accountants.
Give a huge round of applause for him.
AI. जब भी हम AI कहीं पर भी जाएं, बस एक ही चीज़ के बारे में सुन रहे हैं आजकल. AI ने ये कर दिया, AI ने वो कर दिया, AI की वजह से इसकी जॉब चली गई, AI की वजह से ये हो गया. But is it AI is coming to our profession really? Let's check. So before I start, I want to ask you a very simple question. I want you to raise your hands if someone ever told you that AI is going to replace the chartered accountants. Yes, now keep your hands up if you have told that exact same thing to your friend and he said that, bhai, tension nahi lena bhai, dekh lenge. So the fear is real, but today
I am not here to increase your fear, but to reduce your fear. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ayush Adlakha from Kota, Rajasthan. Today, here to present my topic, AI in practice, leveraging intelligent tools for the chartered accountants. So, let's start with one of our thing that keeps every CA student awake at night. That's none other than AI audit. AI in audit. What is this? I want you to imagine the date that every CA student gets a mini heart attack every year. Is this one? No. Yes, everyone gets heart attack, but it's here, it's the 31st March, the date of deadlines, the pressures, and whatnot. Imagine yourself that you are auditing a company, having a 5 lakhs transactions recorded during the year. As an auditor, traditionally what we would do? Test 5% sampling to 10% sampling, 20% sampling in the extreme case scenarios. But what about the 80% transactions that has been left over, that nobody looked at it, not you, not your article, nobody. That's where the real fraud exists. That's where the real fraud exists. Now, that's where AI comes into the picture. AI can test all the transactions within the 5 minutes. Yes, AI can test your analyze all your transactions with the technique called Benford's law. Yes, Benford law, it states that a real financial data follows a pattern, whereas a fake financial data can't. That's why AI can test all your transactions and detect you and give the information that it is a fake transactions, duplicate payments, or the entry posted at unusual timings. That's where, now, what you will say that which tools can we use? Can we use ChatGPT? Can we use Claude? Can we use Gemini? What do you think? The answer is yes and no. See, you can use these tools for the purpose of your research, litigation, drafting replies, and for this, यही तो करते हैं बस हम अभी AI में. So, we can use AI for this purpose. But can we use AI in this for client data? The answer is no. We can't put, as an auditor, we can't put the client's information, client credentials into the AI public network. It will lead to the violation of DPDP Act. Yes, you heard it right, DPDP Act, the Digital Data Protection Act 2023. This act, a simple ChatGPT trigger can lead to this violation of this act. A violation of this act can lead up to the higher amount of penalties. Penalties, जितना कमाया नहीं होगा ना, उससे ज़्यादा की penalty आ जाएगी दोस्त. Now, you will ask that which tools can we use? There are many available tools in the market that we can use, such as Data Snipper, MindBridge, Caseware Idea, Power BI. But is it that are solving our problem? Can we use as per our purpose? No. Then what we can do? Which AI tools can we use? The answer to is coding. Coding as a CA student? Yes. To get a specific AI tool to automate your practice, you need an AI tool as per your requirements, not as per the tools that are available in the markets. These tools are very expensive, as we see. That as a small size firm and a mid size firm, can we, to be respectfully, can we afford these tools? Yes, many of us. But if we needed a tool that for our specific requirement, boom, we can do the coding. But हमें तो coding आती ही नहीं है दोस्त. क्या करेंगे हम? I don't know how to code. इसका भी solution है. जहाँ problem है, वहाँ solution है. AI will build your own AI tool. Hypocrisy की भी सीमा होती है दोस्त. Yes, you heard it right. AI will build your own AI tool. Simply, I needed a AI tool that would test all the AI transaction, analyze all my transactions, and give me the samples that I would need to test. By giving the prompt to the Claude, it gave me the boom. No. It has prepared me the AI tool. That AI tool, as per my requirement, to analyze the transactions, flag red flags, that entries posted unusual times. This is the AI tool that I have built with my own. I can post my entries into it, and it can easily give me the data that which entries I have to look over it as manually. As a CA, we can't overall trust to the AI, as our signature is going on now. So, as if we use AI tools, ये हालत हो जाएगी अपनी. जैसे AI tools की आदत हो जाएगी, तो manual work करने का बिल्कुल मन नहीं करेगा अपना. Now, as we are standing in the month of the June, tax season has been coming in the month of July. So you are imagining that how we can use AI in taxation. See, in the taxation part, there are two parts. Either it's a litigation one or the compliance one. For the litigation one, the ICI has solved our problem for us. Yes, ICI had made one of the GPT, that is CA-GPT. A CA-GPT that is particularly trained on the particular laws such as Customs Act, GST Act, Companies Act, or the Income Tax Act notification circulars. For example, this is the interface of the CA-GPT, a member's login interface. That, for example, I am having a accounting standards doubt. I can go to this accounting standards GPT, and it would give me the solution as per we want, not as per the chat GPT. Chat GPT is giving our solutions on the basis all the articles as are present on the Google. But as a chartered accountant, we need the specific answers that this CA GPT can give us. Now, for example, as a we get a call from the client that, sir, notice आया है, क्या करना है? Now, what you will tell? We will tell, sir, notice भेजो, देखते हैं, बताते हैं. We will open the Income Tax Act, search for the relevant sections, search for the relevant notifications, circulars that are applicable to that notice. That will lead at least, we would need the 2-3 hours to do that. But what if that work can be done within the minutes? I have received an income tax notice under 143.3. I have given the prompt to the AI, boom, it has prepared me the reply. Within the seconds, it has prepared me the reply that can save our most of us time. Now, things to keep in the mind while using that GPT. We can't give the client credentials to the CA GPT also. That is in the AI software public server. You need to verify that it is giving the correct answer or not sometime, because signature to apna jayega na boss. Now, what if, let's come to the part of the AI in taxation compliance part. What we can do? Either we can make an own AI offline tool by the use of the coding. We can give to the prompt to the AI, and it will give make our specific own AI tool. But if we don't want to do that, we can automate our task in the Excel also. Now, I want to do the GST reconciliation, TDS reconciliation, Form 26 AS matching. What will I do? I will go to the any AI software and tell him to prepare me give me a code that I go and paste in the Excel. That a VBA macro code that I can paste in the Excel, and it can automate that task for me. The code is here. So the GST reconciliation can be done with the GST VBA code done. So as per my final conclusion, that AI will not replace the chartered accountants. It will be the chartered accountants who will use AI going to replace the others. So that's all from my side. Thank you, Ahmedabad.
What an aspiring and adaptive paper it was. It was so good to have all the three of you on this stage.
Now, I would request Mr. Bhavin Goklani, sir, to express his view on the fantastic presentations given by our paper presenters. Give a huge round of applause for him.
So first of all, actually I'm super glad to see this kind of presentation at a student level, because majority of time I have tried to be jury in the chartered accountant, that is a member section, but first time I am looking at the student section. I must compliment all of the paper presenters for giving the wonderful presentation. And last time when I visited Abu Dhabi, one member asked me the question कि सर आप बताइए इंडिया में मेंबर्स तो अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं एआई को, लेकिन स्टूडेंट कितना कर रहे हैं. सो आई सेड कि थोड़ा एवरेज एडॉप्शन है स्टूडेंट का, बट आई वाज रॉन्ग लुकिंग टू योर पेपर प्रेजेंटेशंस. नाउ व्हेन आई गो टू दुबई नेक्स्ट मंथ, आई विल इन्फॉर्म देम कि भाई आओ इंडिया में हमारे पास कैसे अच्छे स्टूडेंट हैं जो काफ़ी अच्छे लेवल से एडॉप्शन कर रहे हैं. तीनों लोगों ने भरत जी, विधि जी एंड आयुष, यू डिड अ फैंटास्टिक जॉब. आई थिंक प्रैक्टिकल एस्पेक्ट भी काफ़ी अच्छा आप लोगों ने कवर किया है. रिजल्ट जो है वो ब्रांच विल डिक्लेयर, मेरे हाथ में नहीं है. आई विल सबमिट माय व्यूज, बट आई मस्ट कॉम्प्लीमेंट एवरीवन फॉर गिविंग योर टाइम. दिख रहा था पूरा प्रेजेंटेशन से कि कितना टाइम लगाया है. सो आई वुड से कंटेंट वाइज, डिलीवरी वाइज, टाइम वाइज, practical case studies wise and engagement wise, everyone has performed a super. My compliments. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your views. Now, I would like to request Joint Secretary of Vikasa Ahmedabad, Mr. Adresh Andani, to address the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we come to close of this insightful session, it's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of Ahmedabad branch of ICI and Vikasa Ahmedabad, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our session expert, CA Bhavin Goklani sir, for sharing his valuable insights, enriching this session with his expertise and guidance. A special appreciation to Ms. Vidhi Talati, Mr. Bharat Surya and Mr. Ayush Adlakha sir for their informative presentation. આજનું સેશન માત્ર જાણકારી પૂરતું નહોતું, પરંતુ ભવિષ્યમાં ટેકનોલોજી સાથે કેવી રીતે આગળ વધવું તેનું એક નવી દિશા પણ આપતું હતું. Once again, thank you to all our speakers and presenters for making this session truly valuable and memorable. Thank you, everyone.
Now I would request CA Rinkesh Shah sir and CA Sahil Gala sir to felicitate our special guest, CA Amit Jain sir.
With over 2 decades of leadership experience across renowned organizations, our speaker for the session is a shining example of how determination, vision, and continuous learning can transform a CA student into a global leader. Currently serving as the head of Gift City at Apex Group, he is actively shaping the future of cross-border financial services while working closely with regulators and industry leaders. You all might be agreeing with me on this. सीखना classroom से शुरू होता है, but अक्सर असर boardrooms में दिखता है. Today, he will be sharing valuable insights on a topic that every student must understand to excel the professional world. The missing link from the classroom to the boardroom. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a huge round of applause to welcome upon the podium to respected CA Amit Jain sir.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me at the back? One more time. Can you hear me at the back? If you are thinking, I'm going to do some magic here, then the answer is no. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Let me say it, I've got 15 minutes. I'll try to make a justice to that. So all I'm asking is, I need your 15 minutes. Then you decide, is it important or not important? So let's begin. I'm a dad. I'm older than you. And I've spent 22 years in the careers, which means statistically, half of you are expecting me to tell you, put your phones away, buy a house, work for 80 hours until you retire. You can relax. That's exactly not what I'm going to do. And that's the reason why I'm not here. There's something more than that. I want to talk to you that what you are going to transition from now, once you move as a student in the industry. So let me tell you that industry is saying that there is no talent. An institute is saying there is no job. Very ironically, both are not true, and that at the same time, both are true. So those of you who are talking, probably you might want to be silent at this moment, and probably you might want to listen something little more important than your Instagram. So let me tell you specifically, and this is the core and crux. I want to talk about a two-letter acronym which we call IQ, Intelligent Quotient. For the last 20 years of your lives, you have lived in the system who is obsessed about quantifying your intelligence, your GPA score, standardized tests, entrance exams. If you see it globally and universally, the obsession is the same. In India, we have created the most rigorous, high-stress academics, filters on the planet, millions of students competing for the fractional of percentile, and it's an environment which is actively rewarded. Now, let me take you a little bit of statistical analysis here. If you look at a psychological study going all the way 20th century back, it's a clear measurable correlation between IQ and academic success, which is 0.5 correlation. And in the world of statistics, oh, that's great, that's massive. It means by and large, the faster you process the information, the memorize the patterns, the solve the structured logical problems, the better you are, better you will do in school. So you take tests, you get grades, you secure good marks, there you go. So great, I've cracked the code, I'm smart. But therefore, you will succeed. And then you graduate, then you finish your CAs and everything, and you step in the industry. And the rule completely changes. Suddenly that correlation of 0.5 becomes 0.2. The meta-analysis of the workplace performance shows that while the cognitive ability is a great predictor of how fast you learn on the job, however, its correlation in the long-term success completely drops to 0.2. Again, I'm saying those of you who are talking, you might want to listen to this. This brings me to another question. Why do you think? Did everyone suddenly got dumber? Did industry stop valuing smart people? Or is this the generational gap between some who is judging you or is your boss? No. The drop has happened because the academia and industry fundamentally works on a different ecosystem. Let me try explaining that. In academia, you are evaluated on how well you solve the problem, well-defined problems, which means a professor or institute will give you a syllabus. You know exactly what chapters to read, and you know exams are on Friday, and you apply the formula A to solve the problem B. And that gets a correct answer, and you get an A grade in your exams. So academia is a world of known knowns. Now come to the industry. the real world. It's messy, chaotic, unstructured. Deadline shifts, target moves, and even the definition of problems keeps evolving. It doesn't stop here. It is layered further with client sensitivity, emotions, and complexity of the teamwork. I see the resumes every now and then. I can give you last statistics which I did in GIFT City. I took 135 CA fresher students and I took only 25. I had more vacancy, but I'm sorry, but nothing matched. So where is the problem? I see brilliant higher IQ graduates who can build a complex problem in their sleep, but the moment in the, or moment of supply chain, but I see a challenge when they are put into a situation if anything changes at the 11th hour. The moment the technology changes the entire project, absolutes. Or when the client escalates a serious complaints, they just freeze. They just don't know how to do it or deal with it. And that's the missing link. The academia is a world of known knowns. The industry works on completely unknowns. And that is the missing link. The ability to thrive in uncertainty, to adapt under pressure, transform chaos into an opportunity, it's given. There are countless books on stress, emotional management, mastering effectiveness, both written and spoken. Many of you would have read it. But there is a truth that reading alone doesn't make a difference. Let me try giving you another example. You are trying to become a great chef by just reading a cookbook. You might become a good cook, but certainly not a good chef. Because being a chef requires more than the knowledge. It demands instinct, passion, and a great heart. So, what I'll try doing it, I have a case study, but I think in the interest of time, I don't want to share that. Probably I'll just move on to next Gen Z, brings me to you, which is Gen Z. You guys have a lot of unsolicited advice from your, possibly from my generation, but I actually think you are uniquely positioned to dominate the unstructured world. If you understand what industry actually wants from you, we are living in an era, possibly you will be the best successful person in the near future. I want to give an example which some of you have recently given on the AI. If I need a summary of a 100-page PDF, or want to write a Python script, or want to extract a financial report, I don't need a high IQ junior analyst anymore. I have a generative AI, and that's scary, which means the jobs which were there for you 5 years back, they are not anymore. So, if AI is taking the traditional smart work, what is left for you? What is left is everything that cannot be scripted. And which means in the industry, the high performance isn't going to be the right answer. It is about asking the right questions. So there are 3 things which I want you to take, and possibly it will help you, is your adaptability, which means when the software, you spent years mastering it, and that software is obsolete, you need to pivot yourself faster, adapt in the industry. Second is empathy and collaboration. You can be the smartest leaders, business in mind, but if you cannot communicate your idea to a stakeholder who has no idea what you're talking about, it's useless. If you are obsessed only with the targets and overlook the emotional challenges in your team, then even the greatest success can feel hollow. So, empathy and collaboration will take you forward, but that you got to trust to that. Last is resilience. In academia, when you fail, you get a letter F. And in the industry, when that, and it is permanently marked in your career. But to contrary to that, in the industry, the failure is requirement for the innovation, which means it's you fail and you learn, which means if you aren't failing, you aren't iterating it. I've seen very of my friends and colleagues in the industry who were brilliantly smart, but they couldn't handle emotions, the pressures, and all such things, and they failed. That's the reality. Probably I'll take one last case study, and I thought to share two more, but in the interest of time, I won't. Many times we share the stories about success. I want to share the story about a failure. A story where we failed and yet we succeeded. We were a team of 300 people, 20 countries, and we were under the massive system upgrade. After 6 months of testing, UAT, validation, all top of the daily works, we were scheduled to go live in November. And me and my friend, Mr. T, I cannot name that person. I was an operations head, he was a technology head. We tried going live in November and we failed miserably. And then something fundamentally changed and something happened. We thought we will be blamed, we will be questioned, we will be thrown out of the industry. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. But something unusual happened that Mr. T and we didn't blame each other. Our leaders also didn't blame each other. They recognized our efforts. They motivate us. We regrouped, encouraged, designed the new plan. The same 300 people who failed in November, we came together. And this time we had another challenge. It was 2020, it was COVID, February. We tried again, and with all the odds, we got successful. The only thing which was there was not the academic knowledge. It was your softer skills which took you forward. I'm not freeze here. I'm just seeing that, what you are listening, what you're talking right now is so important that this 15 minutes is absolutely useless for you. I'm seriously thinking about that. So maybe I'll just summarize this, that the first step to the learning is that GPA scores or your numbers are just the gate pass. Moment you enter in your job role, it resets to zero. Your ability, your knowledge, your empathy, that will take you forward. Second, your curiosity will take you forward. And last, your emotional intelligence will take you forward. With that, I want to end my session. If you have any questions, I'm happy to address it. Thank you so much.
Firstly, I want to thank CA Rinkesh Shah sir, Chairman of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICAI, CA Sahil Gala sir, Chairman of Vikasa Ahmedabad, and our session expert, CA Amit Jain. I am honored to stand here and deliver the vote of thanks to everyone who made it possible today and has had a great day of learning and sharing ideas. First, I want to say a big thank you to our special guest, CA Amit Jain sir, session expert and speakers on the stage. Thank you for taking time out of your busy lives to be with us today. Your speeches were incredibly helpful and inspiring. The knowledge you shared will help all of us a lot in the future. An event like this takes a lot of hard work. I want to thank our organizing team, Team Vikasa, the volunteers and the technical team. You work day and night behind the scenes to make sure everything runs smoothly. We only see the success on the stage, but we know how much effort you put in behind the curtains. Thank you for your non-stop support. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Louder. Good afternoon, everyone.
કેમ છો અમદાવાદ? મજામાં કે નહીં? જમ્યું ને બધાએ? લંચ કર્યું? આઈસ્ક્રીમ ખાધી કે નહીં? તો યાર એનર્જી ક્યાં છે? આટલું બધું આઈસ્ક્રીમ ખાઈને આવ્યા છો. કંઈક જોશ જુનૂન જસ્બા લેતા હો યાર. ફરી એકવાર થઈ જાય. મજામાં અમદાવાદ?
સાચી વાત છે. લોચા લફડા અને જલેબી ફાફડા ખાવાનું પીવાનું અને સોઈ જવાનું એ બધું તો ગુજરાતીઓની લાઈફમાંથી કોઈ નથી કાઢી શકે. Because the real challenge of any conference is not technical session, but surviving the session after lunch break.
Because right now many of you are not just fighting with complex taxation provision, but you are fighting with post-lunch drowsiness.
So Ahmedabad, let us have a quick energy check.
Yes, we have a very, very, very important test for you guys. Are you guys ready?
Guys, knock knock.
Audience, we ask knock knock.
Who is there, Yash?
Devanshi, it's market.
Who market?
Market masters.
Who market masters?
You don't know about market masters?
No.
Market masters, and that exactly we and all of them are going to become in just next 50 minutes. So I, Yash Sindhu,
I, Devanshi Dharamdasani, and we welcome you all to the technical session 2, Market Masters, Wealth Creation Strategies. Today's session is enriched by the presence of a dynamic finance professional, investor, and a thought leader, respected CA Keval Shah, sir.
I would now request respected CA Samir Chaudhary, sir, Vice Chairperson of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of India, and MCM Kasim Kadri and Nawaz Sama to escort our esteemed guest, CA Keval Shah, sir.
I would also like to invite our paper presenters, Khushi Dhandaria, Dhruvi Mehta, and Priyanshi Patel to the dais.
Perfect. Perfect. The stage is now set, and we look forward to an engaging session filled with knowledge, insight, and learning.
It is a privilege to introduce a session expert for this technical session, CA Keval Shah, sir. He is an independent investor, NISM certified research analyst, chartered accountant, and a founder of over 2,000 investors and professionals. CA Keval's inner circle. Beginning his equity market journey at the age of 20 and qualifying as a chartered accountant at 21, his journey is a remarkable example of passionate meeting perseverance.
What makes his experience especially valuable for us is the unique blend of investing expertise, analytical thinking, and practical applications.
May I now request Vice Chairman of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICAI, respected CA Samir Chaudhary, sir, to kindly facilitate our esteemed session expert, CA Keval Shah, sir, by presenting a bouquet and a memento as a token of our gratitude and appreciation.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. अर्ज किया है, संकल्प हो मजबूत तो हर मंजिल आसान बन जाती है. संकल्प हो मजबूत तो हर मंजिल आसान बन जाती है. जीवन की हर चुनौती एक नई पहचान बन जाती है.
बाजार के उतार चढ़ाव हो या जिंदगी के इम्तिहान, हर गिरावट में भी छुपा होता है अवसरों का नया जहां.
यही हुई ना बात.
And with this spirit of Sankalp, let us begin our insightful session on
money,
wealth,
market,
and hopefully profits. The success of any profession lies not only in technical knowledge, but also in the experience of our mentors.
Friends, opportunity to learn from industry leaders are always special. And today we have one such opportunity before us. So please have a huge round of applause for our next session guest, respected CA Keval Shah, sir. I request respected CA Keval Shah sir to share his valuable insight with us. The stage is yours, sir.
Please have a huge round of applause, guys.
₹5 lakh, 1,40,000 crores, 32 years. Do you know, like, these are not some random numbers? So in 1985, Rakesh Junjunwala started his journey with just ₹5 lakh in his pocket. After some years, that ₹5 lakh got converted into 1,40,000 rupees? No, 1,40,000 crores. In how many years? In just 32 years, before he had just passed away a few years back. And the most important part of this story, which I am sharing with you, is the most underrated part of this story of his life. Rakesh Junjunwala sir was a chartered accountant. And this is just not one of the story, I am sharing it with you. Be it Namish Agrawal, Namish Shah, the founder of Inam Securities, currently having portfolio of 3,500 crore rupees. Motilal Oswal sir, and all other founders and the founders of all the wealth management companies. The most underrated part of everything is that all these people who had started were just like you and me. Some random day studying the CA course, doing their articleship, studying about the stock market, reading the same con calls, the same fundamental analysis, and today they are managing the funds of thousands of people. But the most underrated part of everything is that most of these people are chartered accountants. Yeah. My name is CA Keval Shah. I'm doing practice into consulting and also running a community wherein like I'm providing educational insights to more than almost 4,000 plus chartered accountants. And trust me friends, it's not so long that I was just sitting there, maybe some 5-10 years back when I was a student, and just curiously understanding and trying to understand that what's happening across the globe, what's happening in the Indian equity market. And today, just today morning, I was sitting in a coffee table with one of my founders, one of my client, and he asked me that, Keval bhai, aapne 25 crores invest karwa che, so what is that opportunity? How do you look at the markets? So that's the shift that has been happening in the market right now. Everyone is the same. You are the same people, but the difference which creates between a chartered accountant and all other investors in the world is the edge you are getting as in training, your learnings. So you are the best people in the environment who is sitting over here, who has the capability to understand the financial statement, to read the con call, to know the technical analysis. And I guess today's paper presentation is also about same thing. The three themes which the finest paper presenters are going to speak about. The first would be about the dynamics of stock market. The second would be about the fundamental and the technical analysis. And the third and the most interesting part, the FOMO, greed and the fear. And that's what we are going to learn. And just last one question. તમારામાંથી કેટલા લોકો એવા છે like who had ever just in your life had opened the Angel One, Sensible or Grow app and seen कि भाई whether we should buy this stock or not? How many of you had ever felt that? All right, so almost 80-90% of the people had felt that whether we should buy this stock or not. And that's what we are going to decode over here. And the most important aspect over for the next 40-50 minutes would be to not learn as a student, but to think as a future advisor and the future investor, that after next 5-10 years, when I would sit across the table with one of my clients, how would we be going to learn about those things and how we would be going to provide guidance to a client. So let's begin, and a wonderful round of applause for all the wonderful audience over here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
We would like to recognize the efforts of the esteemed paper presenters who will be sharing their research and insight with us today.
May I now request Vice Chairperson of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICAI, respected CA Samir Chaudhary, sir, to kindly facilitate our paper presenters with memento and bucket as a token of our appreciation and gratitude. May I now request Khushi Dandaria to kindly come forward.
Audience, have a huge round of applause. May I now request Dhruvi Mehta to come forward.
May I now request Priyanshi Patel to kindly come forward. Let's have a huge round of applause, guys.
And now it's time to begin our journey into the fascinating worlds of market, investment, and investor psychology.
As a famous dialogue from Scam 1992 says,
आप सबको तो पता ही रहेगा, रिस्क है तो यस, रिस्क है तो इश्क है.
but before taking the risk, let's understand the market. May I now invite our first paper presenter, Khushi Dhandaria, to present her paper on understanding markets, deep dive into equity, derivatives, and commodities. Khushi, the stage is yours. Guys, let's have a huge round of applause for her.
Okay.
I would like to request everyone, please be quiet and listen to the paper presentation. Please do not disturb the paper presenter. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, hello. Firstly, good afternoon, everyone. Whether you are here bright-eyed or bushy-tailed, or feeling a bit sluggish, which I can see, but certainly not after watching Virat Kohli, right? Before we begin, I want you all to imagine something. What if I told you the lunch you just had, the tea or coffee you drink, and every smartphone you use, and even the prices of gold is all determined by what we are about to discuss today? Sounds very dramatic, right? But actually, that's just the market at its work. Now let me make this a little more interactive. I am sure a lot of you here might have traded or invested before. But raise your hand if you have ever thought on how everyone around me does this so easily. Trust me, I was there too. But don't you worry. I've got a suggestion for you, but you've got to wait till the end to hear that. Perfect. Now, what if I tell you while you were sleeping last night, money was being made or lost, and all of this was happening at once? The answer is a yes. Warren Buffett once said, if you don't know how to make money while you are sleeping, you will probably end up working your entire life. Now tell me the truth. Have you ever heard the word equity, derivatives, and commodities and thought of, अरे कहना क्या चाहते हो? But trust me, it's not as difficult as the definition of machines, which I also thought so initially. But before starting, let me introduce you all to who's speaking here. Myself, Khushi Dhandaria, a CA finalist and doing my articleship from Manubhai and Shah LLP, Ahmedabad. And interestingly, this is a place where I also got to learn all of this practically on a client. So let's dive in and understand it together. So let's take an example throughout. There's a CA student, let's name him Rahul. He has some articleship money saved. Now he wants to grow this money. And he thinks and he hears words like equity, derivatives, commodities, calls, options, etc., etc., and thinks he has entered an audit file with missing schedules. So let's help him and in the process ourselves too. Now, as you can see behind me, let's start with part 1, equity and ownership, not gambling. Now, what is equity? Equity is basically where you become an owner of the company. Now, Rahul starts his investing journey by investing in equity, where he don't just buy a share of a company, but becomes a mini owner of the company. If the company grows, Rahul grows. If the company profits, he profits. And if the company loses, he learns some real life risk management. Now here's the thing. If he invests and the company grows, he thinks himself a genius. But the next week, the share falls and he becomes a long-term investor, a classic market behavior, right? Now this is what equity teaches us, understanding business, understanding numbers, and thinking long-term. Now this brings me to my next part, part 2, commodities, the real world behind numbers. Now, there are two types of commodities, cash and futures. Now actually, increasing the prices of gold, Rahul thinks, what actually drives the price of gold? Now here comes the role of commodities. Commodities are real financial goods, just like equity, gold, silver, agriculture products, crude oil, etc., etc. Unlike equity, which helps us become a mini owner of the company, commodities is where it is connected to real demand supply and real economy. Now here's the thing. If inflation increases, price of gold also increases. And if geopolitical tension increases, gold becomes attractive. And he thinks, okay, gold is not only just a commodity, but also a financial indicator. And markets are not random. They reflect what's happening around the world. Now, he does not want to keep gold as in his home. So he decides to invest through commodities. And now comes the real twist. He hears traders say online, market down, but still made a profit. And he thinks, is there some cheat code or what? But no. And also, how can they earn profit with price decreasing? This is where we enter the most interesting part. Part 3, derivatives, the strategy game. Derivatives does not have a value of their own, but actually their value is determined by something else called as an underlying asset. Think of derivatives as contracts and not assets. Derivatives are of 3 types: futures, options, and swaps. Scenario 1, futures. Now, Rahul wants to buy gold the next month, but what he does today is he buys a future contract, which has a fixed price at a future date. And if the price increases at the future date, he buys and makes profit. And if the price decreases, he takes a loss. Now, it might seem Rahul as a bold decision, right? That he has the ability to lock the price today. This is where we enter option scenario 2, the options. Now, Rahul thinks himself as he has become great in trading, and he pays a premium to buy a call option, or say options. Now, this is where if the price increases, he exercises the call option or options and takes profit. And if the price decreases, again, he books a loss, but this time limited up to the price of premium he has paid to buy that option earlier. It's just like booking a cancelable ticket instead of a non-refundable one. Now, Rahul thinks himself of a genius now, and he thinks he understands everything and goes from, okay, I understand everything, to you might have heard a lot of people say, आज portfolio नहीं देखते यार, please. Okay, now let's summarize all the three. Equity is for long-term growth. Commodities is where you understand the economy, and derivatives to hedge and take strategic decisions. Now let's connect technology to market. Technology has some vital roles to play with the market, and tools like AI, online trading, strategic trading has played a great role in diversification, etc., to all the investors throughout. And in profession like CA, it's very important to know how market works for purposes of business valuation, analysis, hedge accounting, etc. And also it comes with its own risks, such as cybersecurity risk, over-trading, over-analyzing, etc. Although a mix of actual trading with good technology can really enhance the business. Now we come to our next part, for which most of you all were waiting since the start. Paper trading. What is actually a paper trading? Paper trading is where you can learn how to involve in the market without actually using real money. And it is where you buy and sell shares at real market prices. This increases confidence, enhances strategy making decisions without any actual financial risks. For example, you might sell or buy a share of a company and see whether you make a profit or a loss. Although it does not involve any real emotions, but it is a great first step to start before actual trading. Okay, now we come to the conclusion part. Conclusion is actually commodities or market in general are derived in three types, which I told you: equity, commodity, and derivatives. All of it together provides a great financial landscape to everyone and every investor and buyer around us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khushi.
Now moving forward, कंपनी का दिल बैलेंस शीट में धड़कता है, कंपनी का दिल बैलेंस शीट में धड़कता है और चार्ट्स उसकी धड़कन का एहसास कराता है.
फंडामेंटल्स एंड टेक्निकल्स दोनों को जो समझ ले वही मार्केट का धुरंधर कहलाता है.
We now move to our second paper, fundamental versus technical analysis.
May I now invite Dhruvi Mehta to present her paper present on this interesting topic.
Dhruvi, the stage is yours.
शुरू नहीं हो रहा है. हेलो 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 माइक हेलो हाँ हेलो
afternoon to one and all present here. I am Dhruvi Mehta, doing articleship at Deloitte Haskins & Sells LLP. I am honored to share my paper on the topic Market Masters Wealth Creation Strategies at CA Student National Conference, Sankalp. Let me start with a simple question. How many of you have heard, पहले CA बन जाओ, पैसे तो अपने आप आ जाएंगे? Well, I can see many. Earning is one part and investing is a completely different skill. On that note, let's move deeper into the topic, fundamental analysis versus technical analysis. Stock market has become the topic of everyday conversations, from college canteens to office table discussions to family get-togethers. Everybody is talking about stocks, returns, IPOs. The idea of becoming market masters sounds attractive, but results not lie behind the luck. It involves clear strategy and disciplined approach. For a CA student, it is even more meaningful because they knows financial statement like balance sheet and P&L, understand key financial ratios like debt to equity ratio, earning per share, and also understand business structure. Stock market is simply practical extension of that knowledge where decisions are tested real time and involves real money. As this topic is really therapeutic, I would like to make it fun by adding a little twist. By adding a TV show that you all have watched at some point of life, and some people still watch it by having their meals. Any guesses? Tarak Mehta, yeah, I can hear it from the crowd. Yes, it's Tarak Mehta ka Ulta Chashma, where Atmaram Tukaram Bhide represents fundamental analysis, where he is structured, disciplined, and values long-term growth, where technical analysis is like Jethalal Champaklal Gada, who is keen on taking market decisions and grabbing different opportunities. Now, let's get deeper into each of it. Fundamental analysis, the Bhide approach. This focuses on evaluating companies' financial strength and investing with patience for long-term growth. Mainly, it focuses on 5 main points. First, evaluating companies' financial statement. Second, analyzing key financial ratios. Third, evaluating companies' performance, whether revenue and profits are going in hand or not. Examining industry growth, whether whole industry is profitable after 5 years, or what is the scene, will it grow or not, and focuses on long-term development. Now, let's move on to our next approach, technical analysis, the Jethalal approach. Jethalal mainly focuses on price movements and market fluctuation. अरे किसी ने टिप दी है, शेयर ले लेते, अच्छा ही होगा. Focuses on stock price movements, uses charts and simple analysis, and assumes all the information will be seen through price only, predicts future movements from past ratios. Now, you have seen both fundamental analysis, technical analysis. Which one do you think is better, or both should be used? The ideal approach is fundamental analysis plus technical analysis. The place where Tarak Mehta comes into picture, where he uses logic with practicality. Ideal investor uses fundamental analysis to choose the right company and technical analysis to choose the right timing.
that when the share should be bought. Now, let's take example of a CA student. A CA student started articleship. Now he got his first stipend. He is excited to invest in stock market. So he wants to invest a small chunk of money. So what he did was he analyzed the financial statement of one company. Revenue was increasing consistently over past 3 years. Gross profit was also increasing. Debts were reducing. Cash flow statements from operating activities were also positive. Fundamentally, this company is one of the best companies to invest in. But when he opened the stock market, he saw price weren't increasing recently. Apart from it, there was a dip in price. So what will people do in such case? Most of the investors will buy such shares thinking let's price come hai, le lete hai. And other part of the investor will be afraid that what should be done. But in this case, he used his technical analysis and came to the conclusion that most of the investor of the stock has entered the stock at that price. The trading activities were also increasing, and it was the start of increasing the price. He invested in that stock, and over a period of time, it gave him a really good return. So, always be an ideal investor. Most common mistakes that most of the people do these days: blindly following tips from friends and social media. I know your friends are right, but not always. Investing without proper analysis. Third, overtrading causes higher cost and higher trade. Emotional decision due to fear and greed. Panic selling. And the last one is investing due to FOMO. Now, let's get into our last but not the least topic. Becoming a market master is not about choosing the right strategy. It's equally about choosing the right mindset. Qualities such as discipline, patience, consistency involves a huge part in it. Discipline ensures that investor follows an ideal approach and does not take impulsive decisions. Patience is essential because fundamentally good companies don't give returns instantly. It takes time, and value is created through compounding. And consistency is required because small steps, regular investing, and continuous learning gives long-term strategy. The stock market rewards who are disciplined, informed, and patient. Just like CA student, success doesn't come instantly, but when it comes, it's meaningful and long-lasting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dhruvi.
Many market decisions are driven less by logic and more by the emotions. And understanding this emotion often make the difference between the successful investor and the impulsive one.
To help us decode the psychology behind the market behavior, I may now invite Priyanshi Patel to present her paper on fear, greed, and FOMO, decoding market behavior. Let's have a huge round of applause for her.
The stage is yours, Priyanshi.
લાંબો ડગલો મૂછો વાકડી શીરે પાગડી રાતી બોલ બોલાતી તોડી તોડી હું છેલ છબીલો ગુજરાતી. Good afternoon, everyone. Being from Gujarat, I am surrounded by two talks: business decisions and stock market opinion. Here, wealth is not just the money. It is emotion and belief of the people. And that is the reason people in Gujarat are turned towards the market so much. Here, the conversation don't start with how are you. It starts with market ma શું ચાલે છે. And the talks of market is not only at Dalal Straits. It is at tea stalls, pan parlors, office places, and weddings too. Now, let me ask you one question. How many of you look at the market every single day? Can you please raise your hands? Okay. How many of you says who long-term investor chu ho? Then also look at the charts every 15 minutes. No hands. Can you please raise your hands? Everyone? Okay. I want to sell this 100 rupees note for 80 rupees. Anyone wants to buy this? I think people over here are sleeping. બહુ ખાઈ લીધું છે? 80 rupees માં નોટ આપું છું. Okay, what if I sell it for 120 rupees? Nobody will take, right? So why don't we react differently to the market? When I said to sell it for 80 rupees, many people saw opportunity in buying the note. But when I said it to sell it for 120 rupees, no one raised their hand. My topic is fear, greed, FOMO, decoding the market behavior. And myself, Priyanshi Patel from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Listening to the word market, what comes to one's mind is charts, financial analysis, technical ratios, balance sheets, profit and loss, etc., etc. But what comes to my mind is the Bollywood song. इधर चला कभी उधर चला जाने कहाँ मैं किधर चला फिसल गया ये तूने क्या किया. Yes, one green spark and everyone becomes market expert. And one red candle, bas, બધું જ વેચી નાખો. Now, what really drives the market? Let's understand by a simple story. Instead of starting with starts, let me start with a simple story. Imagine a week full of hectic schedule and a group of friends planned a Sunday picnic. Everything was planned, tickets were booked, mood was excitement. And suddenly, one friend asked, "Did you check the weather today?" The other said, "No, not yet." They checked. And it showed heavy rain on that day. Mood got disappeared and plans got cancelled. They decided to stay home together. But the interesting thing happened here is the rain didn't come the whole day. And instead of going on planned trip, they enjoyed even well talking, laughing, giggling at home. આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહેવાય ને જે થાય એ સારા માટે જ થાય. Now let's connect this with market behavior. The forecast of rain here is like the news. And the reaction of friends on forecast is like the reaction of investors at the time of news. When the news comes up in the market, people react immediately. But the reaction often changes at the time of real event. Okay, let's understand taking the example of COVID-19. The market news started spreading globally and market reacted aggressively. The prices of stocks were undervalued and people started expecting the worst possible outcomes. News channel was headed with the headlines, rising cases and lockdown, uncertainty, unemployment, and the prices was undervalued than its realistic value of fundamentally strong companies also. But the interesting thing happened at the time of real lockdown. The market got recovered and eventually sees rallies. Now, how can this happen? At the time of global crisis, how can market get rallied? Financial behavior explains the concept beautifully. Here, the black line indicates the start of event, and before the black line, the news and announcement phase is going on. Fear pushes the prices of stocks too low and the prices gets undervalued. But at the time of real event, when reality turns up to be relatively better than the expectations, the prices gets recovered and eventually market sees rallies. Now, let's take the example of positive event of Chandrayaan 3. At the time of Chandrayaan 3, announcement itself brought excitement, and news channel was filled with national pride. The social media was celebrating the event, and the prices of stocks was overvalued. The investors started expecting extremely high. But at the time of real landing of Chandrayaan 3 on moon, the prices got undervalued and market saw correction. Now here comes the another concept of financial behavior, which is overvaluation. Here the market, due to positive event, got up with greed. Eventually it led to overvaluation in the prices. But when the real event turned up, the market got corrected. The similar thing also happened at the time of G20 summit. The leaders, market leaders, took the decisions of cooperation and synergy with other countries, and there was positive sentiment in the market. The prices of stock at that time got overvalued. But at the time of real policy effects got unfolded, the prices get corrected, the emotional excess of the people. Now, the similar pattern was also noticed at the time of demonetization. At the time of demonetization, the market was filled with fear. But fear led to undervaluation, and eventually the market saw rally. By this, we can come with key findings that at the time of negative news, often market sees fear, which leads to undervaluation, and eventually it leads to recovery and rally. But at the time of positive event, the market sees greed, which leads to overvaluation, and eventually market sees correction. By this, we can say the market does not always follow the logic itself, but it follows the emotions of people. By this, I come up with the song of Gabbar Singh. Gabbar Singh ye कहकर गया, जो डर गया वो मर गया. Yes, the point of time when the people are panic selling at the moment of undervaluation, you should grab the opportunity to have the profits in future when the market sees recovery. By this, we have not only understood the market behavior, but we have understood the sentiments behind the market and the psychology of the market. Understanding the sentiment helps to take the better decisions. Thank you. Okay.
Priyanshi Patel.
May I now invite our esteemed session expert, CA Keval Shah sir, to share their reviews for paper presenters.
Audience, please have a huge round of applause for paper presenters and our respected sir.
Three super outstanding presentation. Everyone put your hands together for all of them. Friends, trust me, like to give such a structured presentation in front of like 2,000, 3,000 plus students is not a student level activity. It's a like professional grade thinking. And do remember all three of these names. Dhruvi, Priyanshi, and So let me remember and connect all the dots with you. They're like given you the structured way of thinking about equity, derivative, the greed, fear, and the FOMO fundamental analysis. Also, they're like the best part was the presentation about the fundamental versus the technical analysis, and the beautifully they had presented by correlating it with the Tarak Mehta synchronization. That was like the best part. Trust me, like I was just giving my presentation like a week back to all the CS students. One thing which I like just before I close it in 1 minute, I want to share it with all of you. अगर एक ऐसा opportunity है, being a CA, जहाँ पे AI का कभी भी disruption नहीं होगा, that is the financial market. Only this is the place where AI could never replace any of the best investor in the world. With this, I once again thank you all the presenters, and all the students present over here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Markets rewards those who stay patient, but success follows those who stay committed.
But the biggest risk is not taking the risk.
With that thought, we conclude our technical session 2. I would like to thanks to our esteemed session expert, respected CA Keval Shah sir, Vice Chairperson of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICI, respected CA Samir Chaudhary sir, Treasurer of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICI, respected CA Shiha Agarwal ma'am, and our enthusiastic paper presenters. Let's have a huge round of applause for our enthusiastic paper presenters, guys.
I now invite Managing Committee Member Kasim Kadri to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected CA Keval Shah sir, dignitaries on dais, respected office bearers of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC, and my Vikasa team and my dear friends. So as we conclude these insightful sessions, केवल सर आपकी गाइडेंस, तजुर्बा, दानिशमंदी ने इस सेशन को बेहद असरदार और यादगार बना दिया. Thank you for the sharing as valuable insight and inspiring all of us. I would also like to extend my thanks to our paper presenters, Khushi, Dhruvi, and my Priyanshi, my favorite. She is the favorite volunteers of all. And also on personal note, NetCon सिर्फ एक इवेंट नहीं है, ये एक बेशुमार घंटों की मेहनत है, लेट नाइट मीटिंग्स है, कांस्टेंट फॉलोअप्स है और पूरी टीम की लगन का नतीजा है. और एज अ लीडर ऑफ माय प्यारी फूड कमेटी, आई ऑल्सो एक्नॉलेज दैम क्योंकि उन्होंने बहुत मेहनत की है इस मतलब ब्रेकफास्ट और लंच दोनों में. And with this word, I once again express my tahe dil se shukriya everyone to contribute to this wonderful session of the NetCon Sankalp 2026. यही ख़त्म करता हूँ ये बात कहकर, ना थकान ने रोका ना मुश्किलों ने झुकाया, ना थकान ने रोका ना मुश्किलों ने झुकाया, संकल्प जो लिया था उसने मंजिल तक पहुँचाया.
Hello, friends. Can I call upon the stage Mr. Chakshu Jain, a participant from Chittorgarh? Chakshu, please come on the dais. I request all of you, please be seated. We have with us a participant he came all the way from Chittorgarh. He participated in the Prime Minister first ever youth parliament organized by ICI. I would like to tell that let us join him with, let us applaud him. He joined all the way from Chittorgarh. He will share his experience with all of us. उसका experience कैसा रहा ये जो youth parliament में उन्होंने join किया. I request him to.
કેમ છો અમદાવાદ? કેમ છો? आवाज नहीं आई. केम छो? आवाज नहीं आई. केम छो? हाँ भाई आवाज. और क्या हालचाल मेरे साथियों? आवाज नहीं आ रही है पीछे से. आवाज नहीं आ रही है. क्या मेरी आवाज आ रही है पीछे? आ रही है? तो यस, आज के समय में भारत को जरूरत है आपके जैसे मजबूत नौजवान देश भर से आए हुए चयनित युवाओं की, जो बनाएंगे 2047 में भारत को एक विकसित भारत, एक मजबूत भारत, एक श्रेष्ठ भारत, एक आत्मनिर्भर भारत. तो दोस्तों, इस सुनहरे सफर में मैं आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं. आप सब अपने विजन को, अपने मिशन को, अपने गोल्स को, अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के सानिध्य में केंद्र तक पहुंचाए, ताकि हमारा भारत जल्द से जल्द एक विकसित राष्ट्र बने, एक समृद्ध राष्ट्र बने. तो दोस्तों, इसके लिए बात करने से काम नहीं चलेगा. आपको प्रयत्न करना होगा, आपको मेहनत करनी होगी, आपको कोशिश करनी होगी, आपको हार नहीं माननी होगी, आपको रार नहीं माननी होगी. आपको तकरारों की दुनिया में तकरारों से लड़कर आगे बढ़ना होगा, आगे बढ़ना होगा, आगे बढ़ना होगा. अंत में मैं कुछ पंक्तियों से अपनी वाणी को विराम देना चाहूंगा कि अभी सूरज डूबा नहीं, जरा सी शाम तो होने दो. अभी सूरज डूबा नहीं, जरा सी शाम तो होने दो. मैं खुद लौट जाऊंगा, मुझे नाकाम तो होने दो, मुझे नाकाम तो होने दो. मुझे बदनाम करने की साजिश रचता है जमाना. अरे मैं खुद हो जाऊंगा बदनाम, पहले मेरा नाम तो होने दो, पहले मेरा नाम तो होने दो. धन्यवाद.
Hello guys, a very good evening to our respected guests, esteemed dignitaries and future chartered accountant present here today.
And yes, we are stepping into the next session of the day, which is the beginning of the new way of thinking.
And there I am, Abhidoshi.
And I am Isha Patel.
And today we are not your host.
But we are your real estate agents.
Yes, you heard that right. We are here to make a very special investment opportunity for you guys.
But, before that, let's have a quick question. How many of you aspire to become a practicing chartered accountants?
Wait. On the count of 3, I would like to hear a very clear yay from you guys. 1, 2, 3. That's the spirit, guys.
But there is a small concern, Abhi. The rising price of real estate market.
Yeah, Isha, but we have solution for that. We are now going to invite such a personality who has spent decades into real estate, growth, value creation, skyline, and much more.
And don't worry, guys, this is not a sales pitch.
If our guests would like to give us a very special national conference discount, then none of would object. In fact, આપણે બધા national conference છોડીને પહેલા આપણી future offices book કરાવવા ભાગશો.
And that would certainly make each one of us very happy.
But beyond offers and this discount, there is something which is valuable, and that is a vision.
A vision where every landmark begins as an idea, Every township begins as a mission and every success story begins with a single step. That's where the destination is designed.
અને વિઝનને આપણે કંઈક કહીએ ને ગુજરાતીમાં તો આવી રીતે કહેવાય વિઝન મોટું હોય ને શું વિઝન મોટું હોય ને તો રસ્તામાં આવતા પડકારો પણ એક નવા અવસરો બની જાય છે અને આ જ વિચાર અને વાસ્તવિકતાને બદલનાર વ્યક્તિ આજે આપણી સામે હમણાં થોડીક જ ક્ષણમાં ઉપસ્થિત થઈ જવા રહ્યું છે.
And it is truly an honor for us to introduce a personality whose vision has not only transformed the skylines but has inspired countless entrepreneurs and professionals across the nation. So ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, we invite Mr. Jiten Trivedi sir, Managing Committee Member of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICAI, along with Mr. Rinkesh Shah sir, Chairman of Ahmedabad branch of WIRC of ICAI, to come upon the dais. We also invite Mr. Nawaz Sama, Managing Committee Member of Ahmedabad branch of Vikasa of ICAI, on the dais.
Now we request Jiten sir to come upon the stage and please have and share 2 words with us.
The very respected Chitrak Shah sir, in absentia, is on his way, as I have been told, who is the next speaker for our session on the motivation to students. Most respected Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, my dear friend, my mentor, to whom I have seen when I joined as a student to the ICI profession 2007, C.A. Rinkesh Shah sir, the Vikasa Chairman, Sahil Gala, a very dear friend of mine, other MCM colleagues, including C.A. Shikha ma'am, the Treasurer of Ahmedabad branch, Vice Chairman Sameer Bhai in absentia, Neerav Bhai, immediate chairperson in absentia, and other management committee colleagues. Most importantly, my dear students, can I have your 2 minutes of attention and complete silence here? I understand that networking is the next networking. But I think networking should be done between the sessions, not when the speaker is speaking. We all should understand what should be done at what point of time. That's the most important element which we should be taking from here. I request all the volunteers to please ask the students to sit in the area. All the volunteers to make sure that all the students who are standing back should be sitting on the chairs. I have been told by the chairman, sir, that if this continues, we will cancel the cultural event. Do you want the cultural event to be cancelled? Do you want the cultural event to be cancelled? I am not able to hear you people. Then at least be on your seats at the back. I have a very important question to all of you. I want you people to answer. Who is going to gain the maximum benefit out of this conference? Will it be the speakers? Will it be the paper presenters, or will it be you people? I'm not able to hear. Will it be the speakers? Will it be the paper presenters, or will it be you, the students? I'm not able to hear yet. Students of Ahmedabad, as well as from all over India who have come, around 2,800 plus students who have registered for this conference. So my humble request from the back is that they should be sitting on the dais, on the chairs, and listen to the speakers very importantly, whatever message has been provided. I was asked that I should be addressing the students. I just want to address 2 things. One, when we were students, this huge amount of infrastructure was not there. When we were students, and you people are lucky that you are having all this infrastructure. You people are lucky that you have AI. You people are lucky that you have all the faculties of the world, topmost faculties of nation in front of you using your mobiles and internet. So what is required is patience. What is required is endurance. What is required is hard work so that you people can clear the examinations and come out. And we want that after 4 years or 5 years, we should be seeking you people as the next speaker. So the most important thing is you people should be targeting that you people should be called here, invited to be a speaker to, address a gathering of 2,500 plus students. So my humble request to all of you would be that you people should be aiming to network with each other, to learn from each other, to understand that what you people can understand, learn, take from the paper presenters, and what can make you a better chartered accountant, an ethical chartered accountant, not only an ethical CA student, but in future the leader for this biggest institute accounting body of the world. Karmane va adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. This simple slogan was used to teach us when we started studying 10th standard that तुम कम करते जाओ 10th के बाद सब कुछ easy है. 10th खत्म हो गया, फिर 11th आया, फिर बोला नहीं 11th के बाद 12th बहुत important है तो focus on your 12th standard. 12th जैसे ही खत्म हुआ बोला CA फाउंडेशन पे फोकस कर ले, CA फाउंडेशन के बाद इंटर तो easy है. इंटर क्लियर किया तो फाइनल के लिए 2-2.5 साल 3 साल मिल रहे हैं. अब बोला कि फाइनल के बाद सब कुछ easy है. याद रखना लाइफ में कुछ भी easy नहीं होता. ना 10th स्टैंडर्ड था, ना 12th स्टैंडर्ड है, ना फाउंडेशन है, ना इंटर है, ना फाइनल है, और ना फाइनल के बाद का सीए का जर्नी है. इंपॉर्टेंट इज हम लोग इसको और कितना अच्छी तरह से कर सकते हैं, परफॉर्म कैसे कर सकते हैं. सो फोकस ऑन योर ओन सेल्फ, फोकस ऑन लर्निंग, focus on getting whatever best you can get from all the speakers who are speaking from the dais, and focus on networking because that will become the next net worth. A simple influencer can have 3.7 million followers on Instagram, and who is a technical chartered accountant who said the first thing in the morning that his score was only 400 out of 840 marks out of 100. I would like to share one story of my own self before you can, just as an inspiration. I am very sure many of you do not know me. I am one of the first student to score 100 out of 100 marks in accounting subject in CA Intermediate. Now, the important point is not scoring 100 out of 100 marks. The important point is I was not knowing 12 marks of the paper when the paper came to me. तो सर ऐसा कैसे हो गया, सीए के अंदर ऐसा हो गया कि आपको 88 मार्क्स का पेपर आता था और आपको 100 मार्क्स मिल गए? नहीं. अकाउंट्स तो 12th स्टैंडर्ड से सीखा था, 12 मार्क का चीज़ पता नहीं था, पढ़ा नहीं था, मॉड्यूल पूरी थी. किसी ने सुबह सर ने बोल दिया, बीओएस चेयरमैन सर ने, कि मॉड्यूल अगर आपने पढ़ ली है तो ही आप पास हो सकते हो, लेकिन 100 में से 100 नहीं आ सकते. 100 में से 100 आने के लिए आपको होना चाहिए कॉन्फिडेंस खुद के ऊपर. यू शुड बी नोइंग, you should be understanding and accepting your basic and instincts. वो 12 मार्क का पेपर जिस तरह से मैंने अटेम्प्ट किया, शायद वो मुझे पूरे सीए जर्नी याद रहेगा. Right? So important is not what you know, important is how you tackle when you don't know. With this, I would like to respectfully welcome Chitrak Shah sir on the dais. Every day whenever I am open my social media account, I come to know that Ahmedabad real estate is growing leaps and bounds, and the person who is more or less responsible for the same is standing in front of us. Have a huge round of applause for Chitrak sir. Chitrak sir, welcome to this national conference. And without taking more of your time, I would request the MOC to take it forward. Thank you so much.
Guys, we are having a person who has created landmarks across the Ahmedabad. The founder and managing director of Shivalik Group and Shivalik Institute of Real Estate, Sire, Mr. Chitrak Shah.
We now request CA Jitendra Trivedi sir and Rinkesh Shah sir to felicitate our esteemed guest.
Thank you, sir, for your warm gesture.
Moving ahead, today we are having a personality in between us who has taken a Sankalp 28 years ago and has transformed his vision into infinite possibilities and landmarks.
He who believes that real estate growth is not random, it is designed. અને ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ તો વિકાસ આપમેળે થતો જ નથી. વિકાસ આપમેળે થતો જ નથી. વિકાસને દ્રષ્ટિ, દિશા અને દ્રઢ નિશ્ચયથી ઘડવામાં આવે છે.
અને જ્યાં લોકો જમીન જુએ છે ત્યાં વિઝનરીઝ ભવિષ્ય જોવે છે અને જ્યાં ભવિષ્ય દેખાય ત્યાં વિકાસ તો સર્જાય જ છે.
And perhaps that's why Ahmedabad carries the signature of this visionary who has dared to think ahead.
A visionary who has spent decades creating value on the skyline with more than 75 landmark projects and over 18 million square feet developed. He who has not merely constructed buildings but has helped shape modern Gujarat.
અને જ્યારે આપણે મોડર્ન ગુજરાતની વાત કરીએ ને ત્યારે આપણે ગિફ્ટ સિટીને કઈ રીતે ભૂલી શકીએ. હી ઇઝ વન હુ રિમાઇન્ડ્સ અસ અબાઉટ ધી હાઈએસ્ટ વેલ્યુ રેસિડેન્શિયલ ફ્લેટ. યસ ગાઈઝ, હાઈએસ્ટ વેલ્યુ રેસિડેન્શિયલ ફ્લેટ એટ 17 crore guys, 17 crore, and it is not an coincidence.
It was the result of the right question, right project, right location and the right team.
He who has bought Ahmedabad its first IGBC gold rated green building, proving that development and sustainability can go hand in hand.
So now it's time to call the sir who is here not just to motivate us but to share the journey with us. The journey which is beautifully quoted in few lines as
जो खाली जमीन पर सपनों का शहर बना देता है,
जो सिर्फ इमारत नहीं एक बेहतर कल बना देता है,
जिनके इरादों में दम और नजरों में मुकाम रहते हैं,
वही इंसान हजारों लोगों के सपने बना देते हैं.
With a huge round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Chitrak Shah sir to inspire us and ignite our ambition.
ગુડ આફ્ટરનૂન કે ગુડ ઇવનિંગ છે? હું ટાઈમ જોઈને આવ્યો છતાં પૂછું છું કે જાગો છો કે ઊંઘો છો બધા? સો આટલા બધા સીએ એક પ્લેટફોર્મ પર હોય જે થવાના હોય એવું હું ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ આવ્યો. મેં બહુ જ બધા ક્રાઉડને એડ્રેસ કર્યા છે પણ એક સરખા લોકો જેની એક ઈચ્છા હોય, એક સાથે જે ગ્રો થવાના હોય એ ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ આવ્યો. 200-300 સીએ થઈ ગયા ત્યાં ઘણી વખત ગયો છું. અમારામાં ને તમારામાં કોમન શું છે? એક નંબર. તમે બી નંબરથી જુઓ છો, હું બી નંબરથી જોઉં છું. એન્ટરપ્રિન્યોર છે ને એક નંબર પકડી લે અને આ નંબર કોન્સ્ટન્ટ ગ્રોથ થવો જોઈએ. અને સીએ છે ને એ 10-15 નંબર આપે, એમાંથી અમારે એક ચૂઝ કરવાનો હોય કે અમારે એક ચૂઝ કરવાનો હોય. બિકોઝ એ સીએનું કામ છે કે તમને બતાવે કે આ સાચું છે, આ ખોટું છે. રિસ્ક લેવાનું કામ છે એન્ટરપ્રેન્યોરનું છે. સો અમારું ફોકસ છે ને હંમેશા નંબર્સ છે. નંબર્સ એટલે કેટલા બધા નંબર્સ છે, એમાં ઓનરે કયો નંબર પિક કરવાનો એક, અને પછી તમારી નેક્સ્ટ લેવલના લોકો છે એને એક એક નંબર નીચે આપી દેવાનો. સો જેટલા નંબર તમે નીચે આપી દેશો બધાને એટલા નંબર્સ દરેકના વધતા જશે. બિકોઝ જો નંબર નહીં હોય ને તો ખાલી એડમિન સ્ટાફ કહેવાય, અને એડમિન સ્ટાફ છે એનો ગ્રોથ ના થાય. એક લેવલ પર આવીને સેચ્યુરેશન થઈ જાય. સો ઓલવેઝ એવું હોય કે ફાઇનાન્શિયલ નંબર અમારા માટે કોઈ એક જણ માટે ક્વિક ટર્ન અરાઉન્ડ નંબર, કોઈ એક સેલ્સવાળા માટે એનો પરફોર્મન્સ નંબર, પરફોર્મન્સ લાવવા માટે બીજા 4 નંબર હોય કે આ 4 નંબરનું કેવી રીતે અચીવ કરીશ. સો એ 4 નંબર નેક્સ્ટ ટ્રેક કરે ને તો એનો ગ્રોથ થાય. બિકોઝ આઈ ઓલવેઝ સે કે ગ્રોથ છે ને એ રેન્ડમ ના થાય. ગ્રોથ ઓલવેઝ તમારે ડિઝાઇન કરવો પડે. એક ટર્મિનોલોજી હોય કે જેમ કાલે ઉઠીને મારે મુંબઈમાં 8 કલાકમાં પહોંચી જવું છે તો સરસ ગાડી હોય, સરસ ડ્રાઈવર હોય, પેટ્રોલ ફૂલ હોય અને આ બધા ફેક્ટર્સ તમે મૂકવાનું ચાલુ કરો ને તો જ તમારી સ્પીડમાં જવાય. સો ઓલ ઓફ સડન તમે મુંબઈ જવા નીકળી જાઓ ને તો ખબર નથી 10 કલાકે પહોંચશો, 8 કલાકે પહોંચશો, 12 કલાકે પહોંચશો. સો વી એઝ અ એન્ટરપ્રેન્યોર વી ઓલવેઝ ડિસાઇડ કે અહીંયા જવું છે, આ રીતે ટ્રેકિંગ કરીશું, આ નંબર્સ છે, આ નંબર્સની જવાબદારી આ લોકો લેશે અને આ જે જવાબદારી છે એના ફોર્મ્યુલા અને ફ્રેમવર્ક મૂકતા જઈએ અને એ ફ્રેમવર્ક ને ફોર્મ્યુલા જો તમે આગળ બધાને આપ્યા કરો નેક્સ્ટ લેવલને તો ગ્રોથ 100% થાય. બાકી એકલું ખાલી રોજ સવારે ઊભા થઈ અને કામ કર્યા કરશો તો એવું લાગશે કે ફરવા નીકળ્યો છું. લાઈક સવારે તમે અહીંયા આવવા નીકળ્યા, એક પર્પસ હતો ને લાઈફનો કે મારે અહીંયા આવું છે, નહીં તો શું થાય, ફર્યા કરો, પર્પસ ના મળે. તો તમારા માટે બી એક પર્પસ હોવો જોઈએ કે મારે સીએમાં અહીંયા પહોંચવું છે કે મારે ફાઇનાન્શિયલી અહીંયા પહોંચવું છે અને એ મેનિફેસ્ટેશન અને વિઝન જોવાનું ચાલુ કરશો ને એક નંબર પર ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી તો જ એને બ્રેકડાઉન કરી અને તમારો ગ્રોથ થઈ શકશે. બિકોઝ ગ્રોથની એક કોમન ફોર્મ્યુલા છે કે આ રીતે તમે નંબર્સ કરો ને, આ રીતે ટ્રેક કરો તો જ ગ્રોથ થાય. પછી રિયલ એસ્ટેટ હોય, ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ હોય, ફેશન હોય કે કોઈ ટેકનોલોજી કંપની હોય, પણ એ ફોર્મ્યુલાના અમુક નંબર્સ છે, નંબર્સ ટ્રેક કરવા પડે અને એ તમારા વગર કોઈને સમજ નહીં પડે. સો આ નંબર અમે લોકો કેવી રીતે અચીવ કર્યા? એક કોન્સ્ટન્ટ કન્સિસ્ટન્સી રાખીએ કે રોજ સવારના ઉઠીને આ કામ કરવાનું અને કોન્સ્ટન્ટ કર્યા કરીએ. રોજ 1 કલાક એટલે ટાસ્ક ના હોય, ટાસ્કની જગ્યાએ ટાઈમ અલોટમેન્ટ હોય. 8 વસ્તુને તમે રોજ એક જગ્યા પર મૂકી દો કે રોજ સવારના ઉઠીને હું અડધો કલાક આગળ વધીશ, રોજ સવારે ઉઠીને અડધો કલાક આગળ વધીશ. જો એ જે તમારે કરવું છે એને ટાઈમ સ્લોટ આપી દો અને ટાઈમ સ્લોટને તમે અડધો કલાક, 2 કલાક, 3 કલાક જેવી પ્રાયોરિટી છે એમાં મૂકવાનું ચાલુ કરશો ને તો ગ્રોથ 100% થશે દરેક જણનો. એટલે એનું ફ્રેમવર્ક હોય, સિસ્ટમ્સ હોય, ડિસિપ્લિન હોય, કન્સિસ્ટન્સી હોય અને વિઝન હોય અને ઓલવેઝ યુનિકનેસ પોતાની અલગ હોય. મારા ફ્રેન્ડ શું કરે છે દેટ ડઝન્ટ મેટર. હું અલગ છું, મારું ડીએનએ અલગ છે, મારું સર્કમસ્ટન્સીસ અલગ છે, મારા સરાઉન્ડેડ લોકો અલગ છે, મારા ફ્રેન્ડ સર્કલ અલગ છે, મારું નેટવર્ક અલગ છે, મારા ફેમિલીના સર્કમસ્ટન્સીસ અલગ છે. આપણી પાસે એક જ વસ્તુ છે, પોતાની જાત અને પોઝિટિવ એટીટ્યૂડ. આ 2 જ વસ્તુ હશે ને તો જ ગ્રોથ હશે, બાકી ગ્રોથ નહીં થાય. બાકી વી ઓલવેઝ કીપ કમ્પ્લેનિંગ કે મારા તો સર્કમસ્ટન્સીસ આવું છે, હું શું કરું. દરેક જણને પૈસા ઓછા પડે છે. અદાની હોય, અંબાની હોય, એપલ હોય કે ટાટા હોય, છેલ્લે પબ્લિક પાસે જઈને આઈપીઓ લઈને પૈસા તો લઈ આવે છે. ફરક શું છે? વિઝનનો, રિસ્કનો, એટીટ્યૂડનો અને સ્કેલનો. સો રિસોર્સિસ એ આપણે પ્લાન કરવા પડે, રિસ્ક આપણે લેવું પડે, વિઝન આપણે કાઢવું પડે, ડિરેક્શન આપણે નક્કી કરવું પડે. આ સિસ્ટમ છે એ તમારી ઉપર બિલ્ડ થશે કે તમે જેને સર્વ કરશો એને આ ગાઈડ કરશો. મારા મુજબ સીએ અને સીએફઓ એ બંનેમાં ફરક શું? ફાઇનાન્સનું પ્લાનિંગ કરવું પડે અને સીએ એને પ્લાન કરીને પાક કરે કે આ રીતે કરવાનું, અહીંયા આ મૂકવાના અને એની કોની પાસે સૌથી વધુ ટેક્સ પેડ પૈસા છે એ તમને બધાને ખબર હોય. સો ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી અમારા સેક્ટરમાં રિયલ એસ્ટેટમાં ઢગલો છે. રિયલ એસ્ટેટની અંદર ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ તમે કરી શકો, પણ તમારે એક જ પ્રેક્ટિસ પકડી અને એને 5 વર્ષ 10 વર્ષ સુધી ફોકસ કરશો, પૈસા ઘરમાં આવવાનું ચાલુ થશે. પછી એડ સેકન્ડ, અધરવાઇઝ તમે કન્ફ્યુઝ થશો, બહુ બધું કરવા જશો અને સ્કેલ નહીં કરી શકો. સો ટાઈમ બ્લોકિંગ ઇઝ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ, કન્સિસ્ટન્સી ઇઝ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ, વિઝન ઇઝ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ, લોંગ ટર્મ થિંકિંગ કે કોન્સ્ટન્ટ 5 વર્ષ 10 વર્ષ સુધી કામ કર્યા કરીએ એ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ. નહીંતર કે ભાઈ હું 6-12 મહિનામાં પૈસા કમાઈ લઉં એવું પોસિબલ નથી. આજે ઝોમેટોને 16-17 વર્ષ થયા, એપલને 50 વર્ષ થયા, અદાનીને અંબાણીને 50 વર્ષ થયા. શોર્ટ ટર્મ પૈસા છે જ નહીં. દરેક જણને એવું લાગે શોર્ટ ટર્મ પૈસા છે. ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી કોઈને મળી જશે સ્ટોક માર્કેટમાં, કોઈક ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીમાં, પણ એના કારણે લોંગ ટર્મ ગ્રોથ ના થાય. જેટલું રિસ્ક વધારે છે એટલો જ ડાઉનફોલ બી વધારે છે. સો એ ઓલવેઝ પ્લાન કરવો પડે. આ અમારા ફોર્મ્યુલાથી અમે એટલું આખી ઇકોસિસ્ટમ બિલ્ડ કરી, 75-80 જેવા પ્રોજેક્ટ કર્યા, 10-12 જેવા પ્લેટફોર્મ ક્રિએટ કર્યા, પણ ફોકસ એક જ હતો, સરાઉન્ડેડ બાય રિયલ એસ્ટેટ રહીએ, સો લિનિયર જઈએ, વાઇડર નહીં. રિયલ એસ્ટેટને પકડી અને લિનિયર કરતા જઈએ અને રિયલ એસ્ટેટની આજુબાજુમાં સ્કેલ મોટો કરતા જઈએ. સો એના કારણે ઇકોસિસ્ટમ બિલ્ડ કરી, નંબર્સ ક્રિએટ કર્યા, સારા બિલ્ડિંગો જે માસ્ટરપીસીસ હતા એ બિલ્ડ કર્યા. તો ઘણી વખત છે ને ટિપિકલ બિલ્ડિંગ બાંધીએ પણ એમાં અમને એવું લાગે કે અમારું ક્રિએશન શું. નોર્મલી રિયલ એસ્ટેટ ડેવલપર્સ સ્ક્વેર ફીટ બાંધીને બહાર નીકળી જાય. અમે શું એવું કર્યું કે જે બીજા કરતાં અલગ છે? તો ઇકોસિસ્ટમ બિલ્ડ કરી, માસ્ટરપીસીસ ક્રિએટ કર્યા. એના કારણે પૈસા કરતાં તમે સિટીને શું પાછું આપો છો, તમે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીને શું પાછું આપો છો, દેટ ઇઝ ઓલ્સો ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ. બિકોઝ તમને હંમેશા મજા છે ને એ આપવાથી આવશે, લેવાથી નહીં આવે. યુ માર્ક માય વર્ડ્સ. તમે જ્યારે કોઈને આપો ને એની મજા અલગ છે લેવાની મજા કરતાં. દરેક વખત લે કરશો ને તો લોકો તમારું ખરાબ બોલશે. જ્યારે આપશો ને ત્યારે એ જે મોટિવેશન, સેટિસ્ફેક્શન, જે પાવર છે ને એ અલગ છે. સો 8-10 વર્ષથી આપવાની ભાવનાથી સિટી માટે, ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી માટે, અને એ ભાવનાથી અમે લોકો હજી મોટા થતા જઈએ છીએ. સો આખું બિલ્ડિંગ સ્ટ્રક્ચર કર્યું, ઇકોસિસ્ટમ બિલ્ડ કરી અને લોકો અમારા સિસ્ટમથી જોડાતા જાય છે. કેમ કરવું પડ્યું? બિકોઝ અમારી કંપનીને મોટું થવું હતું, ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીને બી જરૂર હતી, એટલે અમે ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ ક્રિએટ કર્યું. ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ હજી મોટું કરીએ છીએ. ફંડ ક્રિએટ કર્યું, બિકોઝ અમારે બી પૈસા જોઈએ છે, અમારે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીને બી પૈસા જોઈએ છે, અમારા પાર્ટનર્સને બી પૈસા જોઈએ છે, અને એમને પૈસા પાક બી કરવા છે, એ બી પ્લગ ઇન કર્યું. પછી એના પછી ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી શિફ્ટ થાય છે, લીઝિંગ મોડલ પર શિફ્ટ થાય છે, તો ફ્લો કરીને મોડલ ઊભું કર્યું. વુમન એમ્પાવરમેન્ટ અમારા રિયલ એસ્ટેટ સેક્ટરમાં ઓછું છે. વાયરને નામે એક આઈપી ક્રિએટ કર્યો કે વુમનને ઓનબોર્ડ કરતા જઈએ છીએ, તો વુમનને બી સમજ પડે રિયલ એસ્ટેટ કેવી રીતે વપરાય, કેવી રીતે એમાં અમારી વેલ્યુ છે. સો એને બી એમ્પાવરમેન્ટ મળે. સો બધા પ્લેટફોર્મ બિલ્ડ કરતા જઈએ છીએ. યંગ જનરેશન માટે અમે જનરેશન રિયલ એસ્ટેટ છે એનું શોર્ટ ફોર્મ કરીને અમે ફર્સ્ટ હમણાં વર્ટિકલ ઊભું કરીએ છીએ, જે જનરેશન નેક્સ્ટ છે એના માટે છે, જેનો ઇવેન્ટ અમે હમણાં એમ કરીએ છીએ. તો બધા જ સ્ટેક હોલ્ડરને જોડે લઈ અને એક ટ્રાન્સફોર્મેશન જર્ની તરફ લઈ જઈએ છીએ, જેને રિયલ એસ્ટેટની અંદર જોડાવું છે, કે જેને રિયલ એસ્ટેટમાં ગ્રોથ જોઈએ છે, એને એક આખી સિસ્ટમ બિલ્ડ કરીને એને પાથવે ક્રિએટ કરીએ છીએ. તો કાલે ઉઠીને જે આપણે આજે 50 વર્ષથી રિયલ એસ્ટેટ જોઈએ છે એને આ રીતે ના જોવું પડે. બિકોઝ આપણે રિયલ એસ્ટેટ વાપરીએ છીએ, રિયલ એસ્ટેટમાં દરેકને ગ્રોથ જોઈએ છે, અને રિયલ એસ્ટેટની અંદર દરેક જણને કમાવું છે. જીવનથી મરણ સુધી રિયલ એસ્ટેટની જરૂરિયાત દરેકને પડે છે. સો આઈ એમ નોટ હિયર ટુ સેલ રિયલ એસ્ટેટ, પણ આ બેઝિક છે ને તમે બધા ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક રિયલ એસ્ટેટના બિઝનેસીસથી જોડાયેલા છો અને ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી તમે શોધો છો. પછી બાય વે ઓફ ફંડિંગ, બાય વે ઓફ ટેક્સેશન, બાય વે ઓફ જીએસટી કન્સલ્ટિંગ, બાય વે ઓફ ફંડ રેઝિંગ, ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક તમને એની ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી મળે જ છે. આટલું બધું બિલ્ડ કર્યું, બધું અલગ બિલ્ડ કર્યું, પછી શું નેક્સ્ટ? તો જેમ બધી સિસ્ટમ બનાવી અને એક સિસ્ટમ ભેગી કરી, એને અમે નામ આપ્યું રિયલ એસ્ટેટ ઓપરેટિંગ સિસ્ટમ. તો આ બધા પ્લેટફોર્મ છે ને એક જગ્યા પર ભેગા કરીએ છીએ, એટલે જેને જોડાવવું હોય એ એની ઉપર આવે અને એને અમે પાથમાં મૂકતા જઈએ, અને અમે એ સિટી, ટેરેટરી અને રિયલ એસ્ટેટ બધું ભેગું ગ્રો થાય એક સિસ્ટમથી. સિસ્ટમ આખી ડિફાઇન કરી અને હવે ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી એરિયા ટુ એરિયા અમે એને ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરતા જઈએ છીએ. તમે ઘણા લોકોએ સોશિયલ મીડિયા પર જોયું હશે જે અમે બિલ્ડ કરીએ છીએ, જે સ્ટ્રક્ચર કરીએ છીએ. PwCને અમે ગયા વર્ષે હાયર કર્યા હતા, 2 વર્ષ પહેલાં. ડેલોઇટ્સને હાયર કર્યા હતા. they have seen nobody has a vision like this what we are building. સો બધું હવે બિલ્ડ થતું દેખાય છે, અને અમને બી તમારા જેવા એક્સપર્ટની જરૂર છે. અમને એટલે એઝ અ રિયલ એસ્ટેટ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીને, બિકોઝ રિયલ એસ્ટેટ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીને બી ટેલેન્ટ જોઈએ છે. જે ટેલેન્ટ તમારા જેવું ટેલેન્ટ કોઈની પાસે નથી. ખાલી એક માઇન્ડસેટ જોઈએ, રિયલ એસ્ટેટમાં આવવાની ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી જોઈએ, તમને પાથવે જોઈએ, અને અમને સારું ટેલેન્ટ જોઈએ. સો ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીની જરૂર છે, તમને બી આવું છે, અને ઘણા બધા રોલ્સ છે. ગવર્નન્સ, ESG રિપોર્ટ, કમ્પ્લાયન્સીસ, ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ એડવાઇઝરી, HNI, ફોરેન ફંડિંગ, બહુ જ બધી ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી છે. તમને જ્યારે બી એવું લાગે કે રિયલ એસ્ટેટમાં આવું છે તો ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક તો તમે ફિટ થઈ જ જશો. ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી ઢગલો છે, ખાલી ઇન્ટેન્શન તમારો અને વિલિંગનેસ તમારી એ જોઈશે. એટલે આઈ ઓલવેઝ કન્સિડર કે મોટું બહુ ના વિચારો, થોડુંક સ્ટેપ કરતા જાઓ. 2x 3x 4x ઓટોમેટિક થતું જશે. એવરી ડે એવરી વીક ડબલિંગ કરતા જશો. ડબલિંગનો પાવર તમને ખબર જ હશે કેટલો છે. એકવાર એક્સેલમાં મૂકીને જોજો. કદાચ 25-30ની ઉપર જશો ને, 50ની ઉપર, તો એક્સેલે બંધ થઈ જશે. ડબલિંગ કરતા જશો તો. બિલીવ ઇન ડબલિંગ, બિલીવિંગ ઇન યોર સેલ્ફ, બિલીવિંગ ઇન સિસ્ટમ્સ, અને ગ્રેજ્યુઅલી આગળ જેમ વધતા જશો ને એમ બધા તમારા વિઝનને દ્વાર છે ને ઓપન થતા જશે. અધરવાઇઝ આજે ક્લેરિટી નહીં મળે, પણ એક્શન લેવા પડશે અને રિસ્ક લેવું પડશે. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ. થેન્ક યુ.
Thank you, sir, for your such a warm words and for sharing your journey and life with us. And thank you for such an new thinking.
We'd like to call Mr. Nawaz Samar to come forward and deliver the vote of thanks.
Hello everyone. As we conclude the enriching session, it is my privilege to express sincere gratitude on behalf of Vikasa Ahmedabad and Ahmedabad branch of ICI. A heartfelt thank you, esteemed speaker, Mr. Chitrak Shah sir, Ahmedabad branch of chairman of Ahmedabad branch of ICI, CA Rinkesh Shah sir, and Jiten Trivedi sir. And a special thank you all students here and energy made this session the worthwhile. Thank you all.
From what you do occasionally, but it comes from what you do consistently. And this session provides us an opportunity to discover the power, the fire that is already existing within all of us.
Good evening, respected chartered accountants, future chartered accountants, future civil servants, and all my dear friends. I am Yajesh Fardu.
I am Mehak Peswani.
Your master of ceremony for this esteemed session.
अब जो शख्स आने वाले हैं वो अपनी मोटिवेशन से आप सबकी जिंदगी में जोश भर देंगे, इसलिए जोश चेक करना तो बनता है ना.
Exactly. Let's have a josh check, guys. How is the josh? यार एनर्जी नहीं लग रही है बिल्कुल भी. लेट्स डू इट अगेन. हाउ इज द जोश? वंस मोर. हाउ इज द जोश? दैट्स ग्रेट एनर्जी. तो इसी एनर्जी के साथ आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट सीए नीरव अग्रवाल सर, इमीडिएट पास्ट चेयरमैन ऑफ अहमदाबाद ब्रांच ऑफ WIRC ऑफ ICI, एंड सीए शिखा अग्रवाल मैम, ट्रेजरर ऑफ अहमदाबाद ब्रांच ऑफ WIRC ऑफ ICI, टू एस्कॉर्ट CA में IPS दीपक केडिया सर ऑन द डायस. ऑल्सो I would request Managing Committee Member Darshan Rai Magya to join on the dais. Also, I would request Jiten sir to join on the dais. Guys, please make them a huge round of applause. और प्लीज पीछे थोड़ा साइलेंस बनाए रखिए. It's a humble request.
Now I would request CA Shikha Agarwal ma'am to felicitate CA IPS Deepak Kedia sir.
Give them a huge round of applause, guys.
People spend years to decide what to do in their career. But our speakers firmly said, why to decide when you can excel in all? That means आज के हमारे speaker ने मुस्कुरा कर कहा,
अभी तो हर सीमा को पार करना बाकी है। सीए भी करेंगे, सीएस भी करेंगे, सीए में करेंगे 7 और आईपीएस बनकर देश सेवा का चुनेंगे रास्ता खास।
हिसाबों का हुनर भी, कानून की समझ भी पाई है, हर एक फील्ड में एक्सपर्टीज लेकर एक अलग पहचान बनाई है।
एक ही जिंदगी में इतने मुकाम हासिल कर दिखाया है, जहां लोग एक सपना देखते हैं वहां इन्होंने कई सपने सजाए हैं।
Our next speaker firmly says that success is not a matter of chance, but a result of courage, commitment, and consistent actions. Through his remarkable journey, powerful insights, and unwavering positivity, he has inspired countless individuals to rise above the limitations.
उनकी एक्सपर्टीज सिर्फ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन तक लिमिटेड नहीं है, उन्होंने डिटेक्शन, इन्वेस्टिगेशन और प्रोसिक्यूशन ऑफ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग क्रिमिनल केसेस में भी रिमार्केबल एक्सेलेंस दिखाई है।
अब एक और गर्व का पल, रिपब्लिक डे 2025 के अवसर पर उन्हें प्रेसिडेंट्स मेडल फॉर डिस्टिंग्विश्ड सर्विस से सम्मानित किया गया, जो उनके नेशन के प्रति कमिटमेंट का हाईएस्ट रिकॉग्निशन है।
Some people speak to inform, some speak to impress, but a very few speak to ignite a spark within us. And our next speaker belongs to that rare category.
हिसाबों से देश की हिफाजत तक का सफर,
हिसाबों से देश की हिफाजत तक का सफर,
सीए से आईपीएस तक का असर, ये सिर्फ करियर नहीं,
देश सेवा का जज्बा है अमर, जज्बा है अमर। तो अहमदाबाद, आर यू रेडी?
So with this great energy, let's welcome CA, CMA, IPS Mr. Deepak Kedia sir with a big round of applause. Thank you.
તમે કેમ છો? મજામાં? गुजरात में आके यदि गुजराती नहीं बोला तो फिर क्या बोला? गुजराती बोलना बनता है। I would like to tell one incident. I am connected to Gujarat. मेरी लाइफ का पहला जॉब गैस अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया लिमिटेड में मैंने किया था and I was posted at Banaskantha, Palanpur. So I have deep connection and roots with Gujarat. And when my result for Indian Police Service came, I was that time at Palanpur. तो गुजरात की भूमि को बहुत बहुत नमन, बहुत बहुत प्रणाम, क्योंकि मुझे ढेर सारा आशीर्वाद गुजरात की भूमि से मिला। Respected Chairman of the Ahmedabad branch of Western India Regional Council of ICI, CA Sri Rinkesh Saji, Salini Agarwal ji, and other council members, my CA brothers, dear students who are destined to become chartered accountant in future. It is truly a privilege for me to be here at this National Conference of Students and being in such bright and inspiring group of highly energetic CA students who are on their journey towards becoming chartered accountants. And I have no doubt you all will be building the future of this nation by being the competent and capable professional members of this institute. First of all, I sincerely thank the chairman of the Ahmedabad branch of WIRC for inviting me to this conference, because it is always an honor for me to be part of my alma mater, which has consistently nurtured most of the finest financial brains in the country and also ensured the financial integrity in the society. For me, being CA is a way of life. I cherish that, I believe in that. And there is not an iota of doubt in my mind that CA is a well-recognized brand in the financial ecosystem not only in our nation, but also all across the globe. The credibility which we see outside of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is par excellence. The trust and faith which the nation has in ICI is unparalleled. This reputation has been possible due to the hard work I have seen closely of the council members and other members of our institute. I have personally seen from very close quarter the council members always putting their best and burning the midnight oil to give their best to the institute during their tenure. And it is because of this hard work put up by them, we have so much good reputation of our institute today. Some of the members have sacrificed their established practice or job to ensure the impeccable reputation of our institute. The examination process of CA is so rigorous and incorruptible and has never been compromised. And even the highest judiciary has appreciated the examination standard of our institute. This is very important as we have incapable faith in the system of our institute. In NSG, currently we have the motto of Sarvat Sarvattam Suraksha, and my alma mater, ICI, I believe also ensures Sarvat Sarshesht Vittiya Vatavaran. And it will be our duty in future to subscribe to that and ensure that. It is pleasure for me to know that nowadays the institute conducts various seminars and conferences to keep members, students updated and ensure exposure and new openings for them. The credit goes to the council members for their extraordinary contribution in organizing such seminars, conferences. This kind of national conference for CA students are right steps in that direction, which obviously were not available during our time. We were not have this kind of exposure which you all are having. You are fortunate to have this kind of exposure which is organized by under the guidance and direction of the council members. Dear friends, the journey to become a chartered accountant is one of the toughest, but it is also very, very rewarding. CA is one of the most demanding professional course which not only tests your knowledge, but also your patience, discipline, consistency, and mental strength. When I appeared for civil services for the first time in the year 96-7, I realized one thing, that CA was tougher than civil services. And it was this reason that I pursued civil services. There is no looking back once you have boarded the train to become CA. I was just quoting somebody, what is the difference between the civil services and the chartered accountancy. So when we have all played the Ludo and the Saap Siri, so in Ludo, you go ahead, then you don't come back. So you achieve something. But in civil services, what happens? You start, if you go to 99, again you come to 0. So it's like prelims, mains, interview. If you don't qualify, you come again back to the prelims. So it's like the difference between CA and civil services is like Ludo and the Saap Siri ka khel. You see, it only becomes possible due to your unwavering commitment to excellence through resilience and sacrifice which you put to become CA. I have no doubt that all of you must be navigating sleepless nights, societal expectations, and relentless deadlines with discipline and patience. My friend, you are on today when you are preparing for civil services. The chartered accountant will always require the best from you, accountant. The chartered option, you have to put your best in this profession. Option, you have to put your best in this, has given immense, the institute being in its 77th year of inception, has given immense, the institute being in the awarded by nation and government bodies, above global organizations and government bodies, above global organizations and government bodies. I was also going through the ICI yearbook and I realized I was also going through the plates. It wings to every corner of the world and continues to evolve. Plates, it wings to every corner of sun and finance globally. The one signature of sun and finance globally. Trust and responsibility. A background in financial integrity, trust and responsibility or stepping stone in our nation is a must or stepping stone. Our nation respect the signature of CA. Our nation in a world which is filled with volatility and in a world and fast-changing dynamics, it is the CA who and fast-changing dynamics which is possessed. It is this quality and diversification which is possessed. It is the importance of CA when he mentioned one of the leading industries recognize motivation to, and this gives motivation to us to become chartered accountants as their difficult stories before success. Everyone has putting your best hard work persistently and consisting putting your best hard work in 80s in a village. So I started my schooling in 80s in a village. No chair. That was the beginning from where I come from home. No roadmap for the future. No aim. No vision. No mission. Even this language which I am speaking now, English, was alien to me, and I never considered myself capable of bureaucracy or being civil servant. I used to stay in a gaddi in Calcutta where business used to take place during the daytime and I could only study at night. But मेरे दोस्तों, जिंदगी में एक मौका ऐसा आता है, एक अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको ऐसी मिलती है जिसका आपको भरपूर उपयोग करना होता है. And that happened with me. The thing began to change once I moved into a hostel for further studies where the environment was charged with competition, purpose and peer pressure. Life throws many opportunities before you and you have to pick it up and never lose the off. तकलीफ़ें आएंगी, मुसीबतें आएंगी, उनसे घबराना नहीं है, आगे बढ़ते रहना है, रास्ता खोजेंगे तो रास्ता मिलेगा भी. One thought reshaped everything for me. Even today, I started thinking very clearly, if all others in the hostel can do CA, why cannot I? I come from the same background, I do the same kind of hard work, why I cannot do it? And I started, from that day onwards, I started believing in my capability together, struggle together, and we succeeded together. A constructive peer group creates an environment for healthy competition, which has the power to lift everyone together. Many people think that CA is just an exam, but for me, it was a way of life. I always knew and I always believed that once I become chartered accountant, there will be no looking back for me. There is no looking back for anyone once they become the professional chartered accountant. I admit that the day I cleared CA, that time the result used to come in the paper form. The institute used to stick on the wall and we have to go and see the result. Now that the result comes on the internet, you can see the result. So that day I cleared CA, I felt like I had conquered something within me. It gave me immense confidence of a different level, that if I can achieve this, I can achieve anything in my life. Nobody can stop me. I became unstoppable in my life. The confidence it gave me was transformational, and it was this confidence which motivated and empowered me to look for something more meaningful in life. Once you achieve something, then you look and you try to go beyond that particular point of achievement. I shifted to Delhi from Calcutta and started preparing for civil services. There have been many ups and downs in civil services preparation, and finally I cleared in my third attempt, and life took a U-turn from there, from leisure to law enforcement, from pen to pistol, and from ink to bullet. A chartered accountant in uniform was born that day. एक छोटी सी घटना मुझे याद आ रही है. That time we used to have the suggested answers to the questions. So I still remember, I studied so much that I remembered the figure of a particular question which came in the exam, and when luckily the same question was repeated in the final exam, and my figure was different. So I noticed that there is some mistake. I think that time 5 questions were there. At the end of the examination, I could spare 10 minutes. I again came back to the first problem, and till that particular figure emerged, I was not happy with the figure which was earlier there. The moment that figure came, I realized that now I will get the full marks. So these kind of things happen in life which we should memorize, we should cherish these things, because these are the result of the hard work. Dear friends, I meet a lot of people in my service, and whenever I tell someone about my experience, my service, my designation, they feel happy that Deepak ji is a police officer, Deepak ji is this, that. But I feel happy when I mention to them that, sir, I am also a chartered accountant, and I see a different kind of spark in their eyes. The respect increases manifold. This is the brand, this is the respect which CA qualification carries with it. I am and I will always be indebted to my alma mater for shaping my future and inculcating values in me, which has always been with me in all my endeavor. In future also, it will be always helpful to me. I have no is because of being just about killer. छोड़ना नहीं है रास्ते में कुछ भी, पकड़ के साथ में चल for you. छोड़ना नहीं है रास्ते में कुछ भी, पकड़ के साथ में चल for you. छोड़ना नहीं है रास्ते में कुछ भी, पकड़ के साथ में चलना है, आगे तक मंजिल पानी है. What drove me further was ambition and not the purpose. I often recall the 5th layer of Maslow hierarchy of needs or motivation, which is self-actualization. The idea that you do not change what you are capable of, but you change becoming capable of what you envisage, what you look, what you see, what you think. CA does not merely empower you with skills and clarity, but conviction, which is very important. Dear friends, the unpredictability of life humbles us, and it also offers beauty in its challenges. I have believed in the specialization of service and awareness that what we do is not just transactional, but transformational. If someone seeks help and we are capable of helping, we must do it. We have been made capable by the Almighty not just to rise, but to lift others. We should believe that the world is one family. We should believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. At the end, since I started preparing for CA, my civil services days, I always look forward to 2 lines from a song, and this one line has always motivated me whenever I encountered setbacks in life, and it always infused strength in me. Strength is life and weakness is death. Swami Vivekananda ji said this, and this 2 lines were given to me by Jagmohanji when I cleared civil services. I still believe in that. I am strengthful, I am not weak. I will not be weak because I am CA, and this one qualification has infused so much strength in me that I can fight anything in my life. Dear friends, whenever you face problem in life, always remember 2 lines. I will sing for you, though I am not a very good singer. रुक के जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के। रुक के जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के। दोस्तों, जब दीपक केडिया इसके बारे में सोचते सोचते यहाँ तक पहुँच गया तो आप भी पहुँचोगे। कोई आपको रोक नहीं सकता, अपने आप में विश्वास रखो। मंजिल आपने सही पकड़ी है और रास्ता आपने सही पकड़ा, मंजिल तक आप जरूर पहुँचोगे। सो माय फ्रेंड्स, नेवर स्टॉप, नेवर गिव अप। इफ द रास्ते में कांटे हैं तो कांटों को हटाने की हिम्मत भी है और कांटों को हम जरूर हटाएंगे। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us and showing us that success is not just about achievements, but it's about serving to the nation and the society.
Now, I would request Managing Committee Member Vikasa Ahmedabad, Darshan Rai Magya, to present vote of thanks.
To every CA student present over here, if you think what a CA student became, sir's life is example of that. And apparently, there is a line for it. Udyamena vehi sindhati, karyanina manorathe. Success is not just result of mere decision, it's result of constant effort. And on behalf of entire Ahmedabad branch of ICI and Ahmedabad branch of Vikasa, I, Darshan Rai Magya, genuinely thank you, sir, for your kind words and addressing the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Friends, now what next? What next? Arey, what next? What next? Arey, what next? Dinner.
Dance, dance. You don't want to dance?
Dinner or dance? Dinner or dance?
Vote for dance, vote for dinner.
कितने लोग डांस? हाथ ऊपर करो। डिनर के लिए हाथ ऊपर करो। ज्यादा लोग डिनर में, यस और नो? पहले डिनर बाद में डांस, यस और नो? लेकिन डिनर के लिए और डिनर के बाद डांस के लिए आपके गले में आई कार्ड नहीं होगा तो वॉलंटियर्स हॉल में एंट्री नहीं देंगे। उसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि कोई भी फ्रेंड्स को डांस के लिए नहीं बुलाना है। आई कार्ड लेके ही जो है, जिसका आई कार्ड मिसिंग है वो हास्या का कांटेक्ट करे, वो आई कार्ड दे देगी। क्लियर, राइट? बट डू नॉट वेट फॉर डांस. Hasya will announce for the timing for dinner and she will announce, Dhwani will announce for time for dance. Hasya.
This is to inform everyone that our dinner will start at 6:30 p.m. sharp.